make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring love, hope inside, 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 bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Hope inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, rainbow, the promise, the future, and life.
Hi, Nana Gasela.
Let this light that's within
Thank
me
you.
shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love.
Mary Yusuf, I see you carrying Mary.
Inside, yeah.
Prof, I see you. You're also Suleiman. Nana, welcome. Nana, yo, I hope you're good. Lydia, welcome. Good evening to you.
Promise, the future, and life.
Jennifer, welcome. Good evening.
Let this light that's within me shine to the whole
I see
world,
you, TJ.
whole world.
I hope you are good. User 4104, welcome.
Bring understanding and love. Hope inside.
I see you. Good evening to you. You are welcome. Eddie on, I see you. Or Eddie Don. Eddie Don, yes. I hope you are good.
Bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Thank you so much. Good evening to you.
Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life.
Yeah.
Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day
Thank you, guys. Good evening.
and love. Hope
Please help share this live as you're joining in. You're welcome. Help share the live. Inside. Good evening to you. Happy Thursday to you. I hope our day has been good so far. Yeah, we might be a bit tired, but we have to do what we have to do. I see you. Who cares? Thanks for joining. Temi Tokpe Oge, I see you. You're welcome to Insight. So please help share this live to your friends. And the easiest and the quickest, the fastest way is if you click down 2 seconds on your screen, those names will pop up. Just press send to all of your friends to be part of our talk today. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you for the heart to me. I see you. Thank you so much for that. Please help share this live. I bet you will not regret, joining me on Insight today. It's been a wonderful week so far. We thank God, and the month of September gradually coming to an end. Today is day 26. Just 4 more days, and we're entering into my special month, the month of October. Yes, my birthday is coming, but don't worry, no, I'm not going to come and disturb anyone, but I'm just excited for me, October. And I share this with one of my son as well, not the same day, but the same month. So I'm looking forward to October, all the goodies God has for me and you as well. Joy, I see you. Thanks for joining. It's going to be a roller coaster of a ride today. So guys, get your cup of tea. Get your juices, whatever it is, whatever you want to relax with. Let us do the talk today. So welcome to Insight with FunmiRoyal this beautiful Thursday evening. And as usual, on Thursdays, we talk about marriage talk. We cannot stop talking about marriage talks because a lot of people are into it. A lot of people are planning to get into it. And there's some things, we probably don't even think to talk about, and I'll bring them here. Give us a space. Let's talk about it. Let's learn from one another how we can enjoy our marriages better, how we can do better by our spouses as well. I mean, God helping us, so as you can see, today's topic is an interesting one: marriage and oneness. Marriage and oneness. And I'm going to come with my talk. I can't cover everything, guys. You know that I cannot cover everything. So as you listen patiently, maybe you take note. Oh, Fumi didn't mention this, she didn't mention that. And then you come up later on and share that with us, your perspective to this topic. We want to learn more from one another so that we can enjoy our marriage relationship. Our marriage, it's till death do us part, or till that's how it's meant to be. But you and I know that a lot is going on in marriages worldwide. Some people are separating, some people are getting divorced, all sorts happening. Some people maybe they find it hard to forgive, or some finding hard to even understand their spouses. There's a whole lot. But in it all, we've decided to pick this person to spend the rest of our lives with. And whatever happens along the journey, I pray God will help us, to work things out. It might take time. It might take some more understanding, some selflessness, some tolerance. Lady Bless, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. And all of those things put together. No man is perfect. I am not perfect. My husband is not perfect. We are not perfect. But together, it's been quite a journey thus far. Even challenges will come. We would face it together, sometimes individually, sometimes together. Sometimes, we move on. And sometimes, some tough situations will happen. But whatever happens, you have your body, you have that person you have chosen to do life with right by your side all the way. And I pray that as we do this talk today, as we talk further, there will be oneness in your marriage relationship, even if there's been distancing, there's been conflicts or whatever. This is my prayer today. Good evening, my dear sister or brother. Lady Bless, God bless you, sis. God bless you. You're welcome. So, guys, I'm going to go into the talk, and afterwards, I'm bringing us up to talk more about this. And I have another interesting puzzle for us today. This one I've had to hold myself from laughing because it's a funny one. By the time I bring it, you wonder for me, where did you get this? What is this? But don't worry, I still need an answer to my puzzle. Somewhere, maybe in an hour's time or thereabout, I will bring my puzzle up. So whoever gets it will get the gift for today. Thank you, Lady Bless, for liking the live. Please help share to about 20 people or more from your, followers list. Click down on your screen for a few seconds. You will see those names. It will just pop up automatically. Just click send to all of them to be part of the talk today. So let's go into our talk and, add a bit of flesh to it. Marriage and oneness. Marriage and oneness. So Marriage, as we all know, is a unique and sacred union that brings two individuals together to share their lives, their dreams, their aspirations. So, more than just a legal or societal arrangement, marriage is designed to reflect oneness. A man will leave his father and mother, even the woman will do the same, and two will become one. They will be joined together and they become one, hence oneness in that marriage relationship. It's very crucial. It's very crucial. But you and I know that some people, they leave their mom and father, they cleave to their wife, their husbands, and they can't stay away from their father and mother. Then you tend to wonder what happens to that oneness. Do they get the totality of it? You know, you never can tell. But let us go further and, add more flesh to this topic, marriage and oneness. So, like I said, it's more than just a legal arrangement and all of that. It brings deep and intimate bond between two people who commit wholeheartedly to love, to support, and grow together. Like I said, you have the choice to pick that partner to do life with. So whatever comes along the way in that journey, you have to do all of that with them. You cannot say, okay, I'm pausing, I'm going to find somebody. Okay, when it's not working, I'll come back. In fact, that's reality. Sometimes it happens. Maureen, thanks for joining. Regan, I think maybe you're the same person. I'm not sure. Okay, no, that's another person. Thanks for joining. Dawn, I see you. You're welcome. So the concept of oneness in a marriage relationship is rooted mostly in spiritual, emotional, and practical unity. Oneness does not mean losing your individuality because you're two different people who has decided to come and share life together, do life together, but rather it's merging of two lives in a harmonious and mutually beneficial relationship. Here, this is my belief, not a lot of people believe that. I believe God created the marriage institution where a man and a woman will come together as one to live together as husband and wife for the rest of their lives. No matter what happens, sometimes death might take one partner away. I believe strongly that is when a partner can then decide to take on another partner when maybe a loved one has died. You're at liberty to find love again. I understand that. So when we're talking about our oneness, that is where my perspective is coming from. The one ordained of God, marriage institution created by God. That is my belief. So from time to time, I'll be referring to my Bible because it says a lot about it. When it's from the book of Genesis, where it talks about Adam and Eve coming together as husband and wife and all of that. So that is my strong belief. I go with the biblical explanation to marriage and marriage relationship. So in my talk today, we'll be looking at the essence of oneness in marriage. When what it entails, the royal one, thanks for joining, how it can be cultivated, because sometimes you find out that two opposite people are together in that relationship. Because even if you courted for 7 years, you dated for 10 years, you don't know the totality of your spouse until you get into that marriage, and a lot of what's it called now, a lot of attitudes, behavior start unfolding, and you'll be wondering, I've dated you for 2 years before marriage, how come I didn't see this side to you? It's a learning institution, I'm telling you. So it can be cultivated, oneness can be cultivated, and why it is very essential to build a strong and lasting marriage. We need that because, like I said, two people from two different worlds, two different upbringing, two different backgrounds, sometimes two different race, two different cultures, and all of that come together to live as one. Of course, it's going to have some challenges to it. So let us go further and talk about these things. Oneness is very essential to build a strong and lasting marriage. We're also going to explore, like I said, the biblical foundation of oneness. We're going to discuss the obstacles that can hinder that unity, and then offer practical ways to achieving a deeper oneness in our marriage relationship. And I'll always say this, self-reflect. As I speak, if you're a married person, Do you have that oneness you desire so much with your spouse? And if not, you don't have it, what is causing that? Or why why the gap, or why that? Why lack of oneness? Those are things we need to kind of reflect on as I give this talk today. So I'm going to go to the biblical foundation of oneness. Like I said, this is my reference. This is what I will reference anytime I talk about marriage, because God created marriage, the marriage institution. So the biblical foundation of oneness, the idea of oneness in marriage, is not a modern concept. It's always been there. It's the brain behind, husband and wife coming together to be as one. So it is deeply embedded in the scripture and in the Bible. If you're a Christian, maybe you understand what I'm saying, but even if not, oh, thank you so much, Lady Bless. God bless you. King's daughter, I see you. We found out the core principle of marriage as oneness in the book of Genesis. That is the very first book in the Bible. So even if you grab one now, the very first book, just open the second chapter and we'll go to the verse 24. I love my New King James Version, so that is where my reference is coming from today. It says that, therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Imagine how powerful is that? One flesh, meaning together in totality, in your nakedness, in your thinking, in your everything, you together, you become one flesh. So this verse highlights the importance of two individuals becoming united in a unique and a complete way. I remember many years back, the saying, in fact, people still say it, but I really don't believe that. Say, behind every successful man, there is a woman. I'm like, why behind? Why not beside each other? Beside a successful man, there is a woman. Beside a successful woman, there is a man. Not behind. We are together on the same page in this journey. So I don't know why they keep saying behind. I wouldn't say that. I would say beside that person, really. That's my belief. So let's talk about this one flesh. One flesh I mentioned. So becoming one flesh is more than physical intimacy. Sakina, I see you. Thanks for joining. It signifies a very deep spiritual and emotional connection where each partner's well-being become priority of the other. If I don't care about anything in this world, I need to care about my husband. You need to care for your wife. That is what we're talking about. If you have the capacity to help just the one person in this world, other than yourself, it has to be your husband, it has to be your wife. That is the one flesh we are talking about. So it represents a full partnership in all areas of life: emotional area, financial aspect, physical aspect, and the spiritual aspect as well. Marriage, the coming together of a man and woman, is beyond the physical. It's beyond what you can see. There is this deep connection, spiritual connection. We can't go, we can't go bare as we are, as God has created us, bare with everybody. But you picked one person to even share all of that with. You picked this person to do life with, like I say. And even when there are issues, something has to be there to help you make sure that this oneness is not broken. This union is not broken, whether it's external forces, internal forces, whether it's the issues of life, challenges of life. Together, you face it. You fight that, not fight each other. Most times we tend to do that. So mutual submission and love, we have to talk about this when we're talking about marriage and oneness. And again, I'm going to refer to my Bible in Ephesians chapter 5 verse 21 to 33. It's a long read, but you can read that later, but I just choose to highlight that for us. And when you're talking about mutual submission and love, this is a bit controversial, even in the Christian world. You find out that, they said, wife, submit to your husband. They only so told the man, love your wife and all of that. But they always start this book of Ephesians from verse 22, and they leave the verse 21. So I'm appealing to us, if you dare to read this chapter of the Bible, Ephesians 5, start from 21, so you get the full picture of what is being explained, the role of the man and the role of the woman. It starts with submitting one to another. And I remembered years back when I had to study this, because most times when I listen to messages on this topic, submission and love for the man and the woman, they always go, husband, love your wife, wife, submit to your husbands and all of that. But they leave that verse 21, which is the key thing. And in case you don't understand what submitting one another to one another, in case you don't understand, it's saying for a man, because a man is macho, is masculine and all that. He's not soft, mushy, lovey-dovey, kind of. He could express or he could show emotion maybe by what he does. But for a woman, a woman is like love altogether, if you get me. But it says together submitting to one another. In case you don't understand, husband, we need you to love your wife. And woman, in case you don't understand what submitting to one another is, submit to your own husbands. I'm not doing Bible study today, but just for us to get a better understanding. So it's not about one person being on top, somebody submitting to you under, like I said, it's beside. Hand in hand, together you do life. So that verse, Ephesians 5, 21 to 33, emphasizes mutual submission out of reference for Christ, and speaks to husbands loving their wives as Christ loved the church, inasmuch that he died for the church. Not a lot of people these days, I know, can die for their spouse, for their wives, but this is the kind of love we are meant to show to our wives, according to the Bible. And it says to wives respecting their husbands as well. And love, respect, and mutual sacrifices are key. They're key ingredients in building that oneness we're talking about. So it's not one-sided. We love each other, we respect one another, and we give sacrifices mutually at all times towards one another. And that's the way we can build oneness in our marriage. Mila for Christ, thank you so much for joining. So again, I'll look at oneness as emotional and spiritual unity. And like I said, my reference to marriage altogether stems from the Bible. I cannot talk about marriage and not mention my Bible. So that is just how it rolls, And no apologies to that, because this is my belief strongly. So true oneness in marriage extends beyond the physical and the material aspect. As I mentioned earlier, it involves the emotional and spiritual connection between spouses. Benison, you're welcome. So let's break this down some more. Emotional oneness. This means being vulnerable, being open, being honest with each other at all times, not some of the time, because that will create problems. When your spouse is guessing that, is this person honest with me? Are they saying the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and all of that? Don't put doubt in your spouse, because it will create other issues, So emotional oneness, it involves sharing feelings, your fears. That's why I said you have chosen this person to do life with. In the good times, they're there. In the bad times, when you're afraid of something, when you're happy about something, you're sharing it with this person. So it involves sharing your feelings, your fears, joys, disappointments without fear of judgment. Even when you've done something terribly bad, you should be able to share with this one person you've chosen to do life with. And they won't judge you. They will be there to understand. They'll be there to support you if you need that support. Whatever it is you need at that crucial time. That is in an ideal setup of a marriage relationship. That is how it's meant to be. And again, emotional unity requires empathy. Some couple of weeks we talked about empathy. in marriage. It requires compassion and the willingness to listen, actively listen and understand one another. It's very crucial. If I've chosen to do life with you and I have a burden and I'm telling you what my burden is and you're showing to me like you don't care, that's your problem, deal with it. How is that oneness in that relationship? There is no oneness. So at all times, and it's both ways, not that it's always the man to listen and the woman to talk. No, either way. Yuda, thanks for joining. Good to see you. I hope your day has been good. So it's very crucial, emotional unity. You get that from that oneness in marriage that I'm talking about. And again, spiritual oneness. Like I said, the oneness is beyond the physical connection or the physical. There is more to it. So the spiritual aspect of things as well. You share the same faith and spiritual practices. When you share that, it can be a very strong foundation for your marital unity. I mean, I want to pray. My husband knows how to pray. We pray together. We fast together. We do Christ together. You know, that would strengthen the bond. That would strengthen our oneness, praying together, studying the scripture together. You have a question, please go ahead with your question. Attending worship service together. We even have one in my local church tomorrow, Avalanche. So if you're somewhere in Dagenham, please find Concord House and be part of Avalanche. It's going to be a wonderful experience in the presence of God, just worshiping, praising God. As I say, forget your sorrow. Let us just worship God and you'll be amazed at what God will do. So hopefully I'll see you if you're somewhere close to Dagenham tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. at the Concord House. Just putting that in. So Yuda, please go ahead, ask your question and I'll still give my talk and I'll try to attempt it. Thank you so much. So are you with the same Ras? What is Ras? Are you with same Ras? You might have to spell all that out. I don't know what RAS mean. So we seek God's guidance, you know, as a couple, and this can deepen our. Are you the same as race? Is it race or race? I don't understand you there. Please, if you can maybe put it in another word, because I don't want to attempt what I do not understand. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, I see you're engaging. So like I said, spiritual oneness deepens couples' spiritual bond as well, promoting that oneness. We're talking about promoting that unity between a husband and wife. So when both partners grow spiritually together, it strengthens their oneness and enables them, you know, to weather life storms with greater resilience. My Bible talks about one chasing 1,000, two which is 10,000. So you can imagine that powerhouse, you know, bring it, whatever the weather, cold, hot, bring it together. They would, you know, bring it down. So it brings a lot of resilience as well. Then all of this we're talking about sounds good. Without balancing it with this, I don't know if we'll get a full picture, you know, when we're talking about marriage and oneness. So obstacles to oneness in marriage. Of course, you know, this is my belief, like I said, the devil is always trying to break families apart, will bring issues of life that will seem like, hey, it's the end of the world and all of that. And that's why in most cases you hear of divorces, separations here and there, you know, because the oneness in that marriage has been attacked, whether by one of the spouses, whether by relatives, whether by issues of life, you know, something has attacked that oneness. And that's why they can't see past it and they go their separate ways. But this is not God's desire for marriage. A marriage is that union between that man and that woman for life. For life. So what are the obstacles that oneness might face in that marriage? Achieving and maintaining oneness in marriage can be challenging, people. I know what I'm talking about. It can be challenging due to various factors, many factors, just like the ones I've mentioned. You're, like I said, you're from different backgrounds. Maybe the way you even communicate is different, and your life goals are different, but you're doing life together. These are things that can bring obstacles, you know, to that oneness in that marriage relationship if care is not taken. For example, this always comes up in our marriage talk: lack of communication. Maria, I see you. Thanks for joining. Zika, I hope you're good. Please click down on your screen, press send to all your friends. Let them be part of our talk today. Thank you, Yuda. I'm still waiting for your question because I don't understand what you wrote before. So, lack of communication. Are you married to the same race? Oh, yes, I am. I'm from Nigeria originally. Well, I'm from Nigeria. My husband is also from Nigeria as well. But we're different tribe, but the same nation, the same continent, but different tribe. But he speaks my language. I barely understand his language. Sometimes when I listen, I can pick one or two things, but he speaks my language very fluently. So thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Maybe one of these days on our marriage talk, if he's available, I might just bring him on and we can do our Thursday marriage talk together. Who knows? And all the questions you guys have, you can ask him as well. So, what are the obstacles? Oneness is not Igbo. No, he's not. He's he's not Igbo. At least that much I can say. Good evening. Okay, Abimbola. God bless you. Thanks for joining. Please, thank you so much for liking the live already, but help send it to as many people as possible. Even if you're aspiring to get married, this talk, I believe, is beneficial as well. Thank you so much. Okay, thanks for the heart me. God bless you. So when there's lack of communication, it would affect the oneness. Thank you so much for the gift as well. I hope you have shared to about 20 people. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Poor communication or failure to express emotions can lead to misunderstandings. It can lead to resentment sometimes and even distance in that relationship. So communication in a marriage relationship is always key. Whether you're not speaking your spouse's language, it's another thing altogether, but sometimes it could be quite challenging. Maybe you're speaking Greek and your partner is speaking Spanish, and it's like you're speaking different language, yet you're in that relationship together. Sometimes they appear so because, it's like something is just out there to break you guys up. But once you have that at the back of your mind that you're not giving up, even if he's speaking that language I don't understand, what can I do to actually understand him? No, I ask because I make a big mistake in my life by be someone out of my race. Oh, Yuda, not necessarily. I've seen people from different races getting married and they're still living a happy married life. So it's that individual, not their race. I don't think it's the race. It's that person you chose. Maybe it's the wrong person for you, but it doesn't. No. Oh. Yuda, you will have to come up and share this so we can talk about it some more. For the fact that some people, they're from the same race, they get married and they go their separate ways, they divorce. So it's not about the race. I believe strongly you have an African marrying an Asian and they're still together. You have African marrying Africa and they're not together. So it depends really. I feel it's the individual. It doesn't matter where they're from. Are they willing to love you, Yuda? Are they willing to compromise? Are they willing to understand you? Are they willing to be submissive, to love and care and all of that? That is very crucial regardless of the race. Every race is capable of love. Every race is capable of all of these things I've mentioned. So it shouldn't be the race like, black people, they are this, they're not. No, it's not about that. So communication, again, I say is key. Thank you for that question. But if you can come up and we can talk some more, because sometimes, you're typing, you might not be able to type exactly what, but you can say it. When the time is right, I'll bring us up and hopefully you're still there. Temi Lolua or Temi Lolua. Yes, thanks for joining. So guys, communication is key. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through, talk to your spouse to bring that oneness. Let them be part of what is happening with you. Talk to them. Like I said, if there's lack of communication, you find out that there might be resentment because I'm not good in English. Oh, okay, I get you. But I don't know if my answer helped in any way. It's not about the race of the person you married or you chose to love. It's the person, their character as a person. So even if the person is from your tribe, they can still be with that character. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. So again, another thing that can make oneness impossible in a marriage is selfishness. When one or both partners prioritize their own needs and desires above the well-being of the relationship. Thank you, Yuda. Thank you for the heart me. Oneness will be difficult to achieve. You know, sometimes I get it. The transition from being a single person to a married person, not everybody can mentally handle it well. Because when you were single, you do things for yourself. You're looking after yourself. You take care of yourself. And now you're in a marriage relationship. You've chosen to spend life with this person. And they want to care for you. They want to do stuff for you. But yeah, you like it, you enjoy it, but you're still doing stuff for you alone. Your mind is not like we, it's we now, not I, not me, myself, and I. It's we. So you have to transition into that new phase of life by caring for your wife, by caring for your husband. Before you cook one meal just for you, now you have to cook 2 meals for both of you. So some people sometimes, their mindset is not really in that transition phase, but with time they get there. With time they know, oh, it's not just about me anymore. My spouse is there, my husband is there, my wife is there. So selfishness, when we're being selfish, is not going to promote oneness in that relationship. And again, another challenge or another obstacle to oneness in marriage is unresolved conflicts. Okay, Oche, thanks for joining. Your name is very peculiar. Thank you so much for joining. So unresolved conflicts, holding on to grudges, not addressing issues as they arise, it can cause emotional distance and disrupt oneness. Sometimes some issues are beyond you. Sometimes you might be in shock as a result of what's happened. You might need time to process things, but it has to be resolved one way or another, because when it's prolonged, it can break that union. It can break the bond that you have between the two of you. Thank you, Yuda, for liking the live. I see you. Thank you so much. Then again, external pressures. When I mean external pressures, I mean like financial stress, work commitments, and family issues can create strain on a marriage relationship, pulling the couples apart instead of drawing them together. So to build oneness in your relationship or in that relationship, couples must be intentional about addressing challenges head on through honest conversations, forgiveness, and compromise. When I say external pressures, your work commitment, you now have a partner in your life. You need to spend time with them. If you're always work, as I say, work, always work. Even on weekends, there is no work as such. You will still find work to do. You still find time to go to work. Now you're not in a relationship by yourself. You're in a relationship with somebody who needs your time and attention. And they might be very understanding, but how long will that carry on for? As you're deliberate about your work, be deliberate about spending time with them, about building that oneness with your spouse, because you can't bond so much with work and not bond with your spouse. CJ, Dairo, you're welcome. I see you, my brother. God bless you. Thanks for joining. So, do not allow these external pressures to tear you guys apart, because that is the intention. So you have to always have open and honest conversation. When you need to forgive, you need to forgive this person so that that oneness, can grow some more. Sometimes you have to compromise. Sometimes you're not even happy about the resolution, so to say, but because you want peace to reign, you just have to let it go. Let it go, and let oneness, build. God will help us, because I know these things could be very challenging. I know. Again, let's talk about practical ways to cultivate oneness in our marriage relationship. Oneness is not achieved overnight, guys. You've been listening to my talk. It will take time. It will take effort. It will take compromise. It will take loving some more. It is sacrificial. All of those things which sometimes we struggle to give But when you say you love this person, and I mean, they're the ones you'd share all of these things with. If it's a stranger, sometimes you just let go, let the stranger go. But this person is your person now, your personal person, as my people will say. So oneness is not achieved overnight. Give yourself time. I take 30 for nothing. Okay, you have to expand that, Yuda. You have to expand that. But like I said, it has to be intentional. You have to put in the effort. You have to put in the commitment so that it can grow stronger over time. You know, this marriage relationship is forever. So you have to forever to keep building, keep trying. We may fall, we may fail, but we keep trying. We don't give up because we want to enjoy that relationship. Be them, thanks for joining. So I'm going to talk about a few practical steps to nurture unity in marriage. Not all of it because of time. I want to hear from you as well. Prioritize communication. Is very important, guys. Because when you don't talk the same language, when you're not talking, how can you build? How can your spouse know what's happening with you? Sometimes you might say, oh, but I've been talking, they're not hearing, they're not listening. Talk some more. You know, at some point they would hear you, or maybe pick the right time to talk, or pick the right method to talk. You know your spouse better than anybody. What gets their attention. Sometimes you might have to be creative you know, in helping to talk more, you know, to express your feelings or whatever it is. So however, we need to make time to talk regularly, not just when there are issues. Even when there's no issue at all, make time to talk, gist about things. Yuda says, I don't by myself anymore. I'm waiting for the most higher. Bring that one for me. Okay. You don't like to be, I'm trying to understand that this is what you're trying to say. I might be wrong. You're tired, or you don't want to be by yourself anymore. You're waiting on God or higher person to bring somebody for you that you can love. For me, as a Christian, it requires prayers, because there's a lot of characters out there. Meeting someone new, getting to know them. Sometimes, are they honest with you? You know, everything they're telling you about themselves, is it true? You know, sometimes you find out it's not true. There's a whole lot. So it requires prayer, or the higher being you believe in. Pray that it will guide you to the right person. And, you know, I've talked about red flags. I know red flags, some things you don't like. When you see that in that relationship already, talk about it. If they don't address it, or if they don't see it as an issue that you see as an issue, those are red flags. So you have to be, do you want to go ahead with that relationship? So there's a lot of things you need to look out for when you meet somebody new. Don't just accept anything because you're tired of being by yourself. You want to enjoy that relationship. So be careful when you're going into the next one. So that's what I can say for now. So thank you for asking those questions. It's very crucial. I know sometimes you can't tell the heart of the next person. A lot of people, they say something and they do something else, and you're wondering, you know, they even leave you more confused about who they are and things like. I understand those are the challenges, you know, when trying to find the right partner. I'm waiting for 7 years. My God, that's a long time. Wow, that is a long time to wait. But other things matter as well. Are you putting yourself out there? Are you friendly yourself? Are you meeting new people? You know, there's so many things you can also improve on yourself to finding the right person. Yuda, and my prayer for you being on this platform tonight, I pray that God will bring the right person to you. As we say, the bone of your bone, the flesh of your flesh. You keep trust in the Most High. Yes, keep trust, because it's better to wait 7 years than to rush into it, and then you're in the marriage 2 years and it's separated. I mean, you guys are separated. You don't want that. So hopefully, as you're waiting this long, maybe God is preparing your woman for you. So hopefully that's my prayer for you, and you find the right person that will make you happy, that you will also make happy as well. So guys, be open about your feelings, thoughts, your needs. Active listening is just as important as speaking. So when somebody's speaking, you're actively listening, and you're speaking the truth as well. You're speaking your feelings, you're speaking your thought, such that your spouse can understand and be there for you. That's oneness we're talking about. Again, spend quality time together is very crucial, husband and wife. Sometimes you might have to find somewhere to drop the kids and off you go, both of you, just the two of you, because sometimes you find out when kids start coming in, they just take all your attention, all your focus and everything, and you guys kind of even forget each other. You're there, you sleep on the same bed at night, don't get me wrong, but during the day, like nothing, all you do is just meet on the bed. No. You need to find time, spend time together, book holidays together, do stuff together, spend quality time together. That would help that oneness we're talking about in your marriage relationship. So whether it's a date night, a shared hobby, you can watch films together, or simply by just sitting down and talk about anything silly. It doesn't have to be serious talks, just spend that quality time together, because that is key to deepening that connection. Sometimes, I crack some jokes, and maybe sometimes it will take my husband one or two to understand, and they say, oh, and then they start laughing. I'm like, oh, you should have gotten it. So anything at all, talk about things. It doesn't have to be when there are issues. Yeah, keep trying, Yuda. There's a woman out there for you, and you will meet them. That's my prayer for you. So do stuff together, spend time together, go out together, go for a walk together, tell each other stories, or whatever it is to, kind of strengthen that bond, that togetherness, that unity. And again, in order to promote that oneness in marriage, we're talking about practice forgiveness. This is key, because over time, over years, if you spend 60 years together, you're going to keep offending one another. I'm telling you that. You cannot keep scoring, keep writing offenses, and not. You just have to let go. In fact, somebody said, wear the forgiveness cloak, such that anytime they offend, you've already forgiven. You're wearing it, So no marriage is without conflict. No marriage is without conflict. Just take that. Whether in 10 years or at some point, there will be conflict. However, learning to forgive and letting go of the past hurts is very crucial for maintaining unity. So it's not even just about forgiving. You just have to forget whatever it is. It's painful sometimes, but keeping it in still is even most painful. For me, the beauty of a woman is in the inside, not the outside. Yes, for you, that's true. But some people, is the outside, the desire. There's nothing wrong in that. That's their choice. But as long as they've chosen that, because you and I know as we age, I wasn't looking like this when I was younger. As we age, certain features in us changes as well. And is our spouses ready for that change, For women, when they start giving birth, the pot belly, it comes. For some people are lucky, they get their flat tummy back. Good luck to them. For me, I had cesarean 4 times. You can imagine. When I want to do all those exercise or hot water, I can't do that because, I was cut open. And I needed for that to heal, and it takes time to heal. So before you know, the big belly is just stuck with you, kind of a thing. So there's so many aspects. If your husband just loves that flat tummy, what now happens if you're someone like me? The flat tummy refuses to come back. Do you understand? So those are things we need to mentally prepare for. And as we age, see, very soon, maybe wrinkles. You start seeing wrinkles on my face. I won't be this, you know what I mean. So what happens? So when wrinkles start coming, will you now say, no, I don't love this person anymore because when I married you, there was no wrinkle? Hello, that was 100 years ago. What do you mean? So, just kidding, but you know what I'm saying. So there are certain things that would change. There are certain issues of life that would happen. We have to learn to forget, so that we can move on. Holding on to grudges, it will not work. It will only create more division, but forgiveness restores the oneness. If you can find it in your heart to forgive, of course, you will embrace. It will even take you even deeper some more, because you find out that, okay, they've hurt you this way. You're able to forgive them and move on, meaning you're bonding some more. You get to know your spouse some more. You get to know their ups and downs, their inadequacies. They're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. You know that. Again, another what is it called, practical way I'm going to mention is be selfless and sacrificial. I mentioned something similar before. Some people, their mind has not transitioned to married life. So they're struggling to be selfless, they're struggling to be sacrificial in, their way of life, so to say. So oneness strives when both partners put the needs of each other above their own. You're looking to help your spouse, you're looking to, just be there. Whatever they're facing, whatever is going on for them, you want to be the one to bring the solution, or you want to even be the solution. So love requires sacrifice. In that relationship, to build a oneness, that love, it will require sacrifice. You may not always have your way. Doesn't mean that you're less of a man or you're less of a woman. No. Sacrificial love is very crucial in building that oneness in the marriage, because when I see that this person can go all out for me, my God, I want to be with them. I don't want to lose them. So that oneness, you will find that unity, that bond in that relationship. So love requires sacrifice in that marriage relationship. And that often means making decisions that benefits the relationship wholly, rather than just yourself. So if you have to decide, let's say it's a wife that has to decide, or it's the husband that have to decide, you're not going to decide that this thing favors only you. It has to favor that relationship as a whole. And I'm just going to quickly round up. I'm just about rounding up now. So be selfless, be sacrificial if you want to build oneness in your marriage relationship. And again, I'm coming to this, pray together. You learn to pray together, because prayer is a powerful tool for fostering spiritual oneness. We talk about emotional oneness, physical oneness, spiritual oneness. As long as you're in that marriage relationship, you will have some sort of spiritual oneness as well. So when you pray together, you invite God into your relationship and acknowledge that He is the foundation of your marriage. It would help promote that oneness we're talking about. Sometimes some things are beyond you. You're so overwhelmed. You cry to God and all of that. At some point, you're even so feeble. You're so weak to even pray. And it's your spouse that will come and hold your hands and pray for you, pray with you at that weak moment. Imagine that spiritual bonding. It's amazing. It's amazing. Again, be intentional about intimacy. So physical and emotional intimacy is very vital for oneness. Be intentional about nurturing your intimate relationship and ensuring that you meet each other's needs. And I tell you, issues of life can happen. Things can happen that, kind of prevent this from happening. I quite understand. But no matter for how so long, this has to still come back at some point in time. So we have to be intentional about it. Even when your spouse is upset with you, when they're like, just give me my space right now, let them have their space, because at least they're still in that marriage. They're just having a moment, or they're just in shock, or whatever it is. At some point you will have to move past that. God helping both of you, really. So the other bit I'm going to mention is the benefit of oneness in marriage. There's benefit in as much as there's challenges to it. Of course, it's very beneficial. It is very beneficial. And if you're just joining in, you're welcome. Daughter of Grace, I see you. The topic is marriage and oneness. Marriage and oneness. And I've looked at various aspects of it, but not all. So I'm hoping to hear from you later on. So the benefits of oneness in marriage, let's go there, guys. When oneness is achieved, the benefit extend to every aspect of that relationship. Trust me. A sense of peace, you get a sense of joy and stability. It becomes the foundation of that marriage. So couples who are united are better equipped to handle challenges, to make decisions, to support one another through the ups and downs of life. So as you do that life together, you grow on each other, you learn from one another, you benefit from it. You're mentally more intelligent, emotionally more intelligent, and all of that. This person becomes the book you read. You also become the book they study and things like that, and you get better at it over time. So couples are united and are better equipped to handle challenges no matter what, if they allow each other in that space. Oneness, I'll tell you what it brings in terms of the advantage to it, the benefits of it. It brings deeper connection. So a stronger emotional, physical, and spiritual bond that enhances your trust for one another and the intimacy that you share together. Do you have a twin sister with the same way of doing things? Oh my God, Yuda. You know what? Maybe I have a twin sister I've never met. Maybe you'll be the one to introduce them to me. No, I don't have a twin sister. Sorry. I have a sister. She's also married with 3 children. All my sisters are married, unfortunately or fortunately. Oh my God, you make me laugh, Yuda. It's amazing. Thank you so much. I'll take that as a compliment. So deeper connection, yeah. That's the benefit of oneness in marriage, a stronger emotional, spiritual, physical bond to enhance your trust and intimacy for one another. So even when challenges come, don't look at it as, it's the end of that marriage. Look at it as opportunity to bond some more with your spouse, because together you will overcome that challenge and it will make you bond some more. That oneness, that unity will be promoted in that relationship. And again, another benefit is greater resilience. When you're together like this, it's hard to break. But when it's just one, imagine you can just break that one. But together, you're stronger together. So a unified couple can better face external pressures and challenges, knowing that they are in it together. Together we stand, divided we fall. Together we stand, divided we fall. So let's stand together, to be stronger together, to build together, despite all the challenges. So finally, shared purpose. When both partners are on the same page, not that, same page, they can work towards common goals, whether they're raising their children, building a home, or serving in their community, or whatever it is. When you have a shared purpose as a couple, what is your shared purpose? Do you guys even have a shared purpose? I know each individual might have a purpose and all of that. When you bring your purpose and the husband brings his purpose, the wife brings the purpose together, what is that shared purpose? What is the totality of that shared purpose? It's for a reason. Sometimes you have to work on it, pray on it. I don't know who I was talking with recently, and they said they don't even know what they're passionate about. I'm like, oh, there's a problem there. If you don't know what you're passionate about, then you probably don't know your purpose. So you can imagine spouses can help each other discover their purpose in life, what they're passionate about and things like that, because they can tell, you love this. In fact, if anybody asks you not to do this, it's like you'll be so miserable. You can help your spouse find their passion as well. So I'm going to be rounding up now because I want to hear from us. What is our take on marriage and oneness? So in conclusion, I'll say that oneness in marriage is both a goal and a journey. You want to have that oneness, and is also part of the journey in that marriage. And it requires intentional effort, patience, and a commitment to putting the relationship above individual desires. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with each person having their desires, but you have to bring your relationship first at all times. So oneness does not mean losing your individuality, but rather coming together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Because when you're standing one and one, but imagine two together is stronger. So by prioritizing communication, emotional and spiritual connection, and practicing forgiveness and sacrifice, couples can build a marriage that reflects the true meaning of unity. And that is it. That is how to go about it. So the goal here really today, guys, is to encourage couples to view their marriage as a partnership of oneness. Oneness. If I lose, we lose. If I win, we win. So we best win, guys. We best win. So by understanding that biblical foundation that I laid and applying practical steps, we can deepen the bond that we have over challenges, and and experience that the fullness of unity in our marriage. We're bonded together, solid, like solid. I love it when couples that you can't separate them. Nothing can separate them. No challenge can separate them. They're like, we're in this, we have to make it work. So they're intentional about what they do. They're intentional about how they treat one another. They're intentional about loving one another, caring for one another, understanding one. They're so intentional about it. So when you're intentional, that means you're conscious of what you're doing. Imagine, what is that thing, who is that person that wants to break you guys up, when you are that intentional about building that bond with your spouse. So I hope this has inspired us, and it will help us to work more on our relationship and renew our commitment to cultivating that emotional, spiritual and practical unity that every marriage should be blessed with, or is blessed with, or is meant to have. It takes two, guys. It takes two. One person alone cannot build that relationship. It takes two of you to build it. You have to speak the same language. You have to forgive one another. You have to be empathetic towards one another. You can be angry at one another. I mean, there's no crime in that. But you know that you can only do that for so long. Otherwise, you will break that oneness we're talking about. So be mindful. If you need your space, understand your spouse needing that space. Don't just say, what do you need the space for? We're married. No, please try to understand, because sometimes they might just need some time out to heal and reflect on things and process things, and then come back better, fresher, more understanding and ready to go. So if your spouse needs that, all I would say is pray as they need that space. Pray that they'll find healing, whatever it is. Pray that God would, sort them out such that they will come back better to committing to that marriage relation. Heal from what, Lord? If you're just coming in, we're talking about marriage and oneness. And I talked about obstacles that oneness can face in a marriage, when spouses maybe hurt each other, or something happens they're facing that together. If a spouse has hurt the other spouse, you can't say forgive straight away. Sometimes some of them, a spouse might need time to heal from the hurt. So that's what I mean by that. Anyway, I think that's what you bumped into. I've talked about so many aspects, and I'm just ending my talk right there. So I hope that this talk has been beneficial. So the moment they need space, I think there's already a fundamental problem. Yeah, there's a problem, but everyone is wired differently. If I say to my spouse, I need space to be, does not mean that's the end of the marriage, because something has gone wrong. And if I feel maybe my spouse is not understanding me, I might just need time to go and process, reflect, and sort myself out, and then come back. Maybe, hopefully, that's why I said, if your spouse needs that space, or they're asking, you should be praying that God will heal them. You should be praying that they will find whatever they need to recover. Maybe the word to recover from whatever they're suffering or they're going through. Because I tell you, like I say, conflicts will arise. It's not all the time couples speak the same language. If you're in a marriage relationship for so long, I mean, you can testify to this. Okay, let's just answer TikTok 1 second. Verification complete. Yes, I've just done that. So there's a lot marriage relationship will face. Thank you, Ify, for the gift. One love, I see you. You're welcome. So sometimes the spouse might need time to heal, because you can't just go in their face and say, I thought you loved me. Just forgive me. Let's move on. Let's move on. And it doesn't work like that. We're wired differently. It might take me a couple of weeks to recover from the shock or whatever it is. Does not mean I've said bye-bye to the marriage. So help each other to get what each other needs so that you can both move past that phase. That's all I'm trying to say. So that is my talk for today.
World, light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love.
Yuda, well done. Thank you guys for liking the live. Okay. So before I bring us up, I will throw this one question that I have for us today, and we can start with that or whatever we want to share. Guys, send invite. Let us talk about this, because like I said, in a marriage relationship, this is one of the things that the devil cannot attacks, such that you don't understand each other. It breaks that oneness, that bond, that unity that you guys or we are supposed to enjoy. Issues of life happens, things happen, but that shouldn't be the end of that marriage. That's why, remember, I talked about communication, spending quality time together, forgiving one another. There's a whole lot. So my question to us today is, can two work together except they agree? Can two work together except they agree? That is my question. And then I'll be bringing my puzzle shortly. This one is very funny puzzle today. So guys, send invite. Let's talk about this oneness in marriage. Let's talk about it some more, and hopefully we'll get more insight. Hopefully whatever phase we are in our relationships, we're able to go past the pain, go past the hurt, and build on that oneness yet again, such that we enjoy our marriage relationship. I say, okay, 1 second. Let's see if that would work. I don't know what's happening. Thank you so much. Okay, Yuda, welcome. And guys, send an invite. Let's talk about this some more. Or if you have any question, let's talk about it here. This is the space, Let's talk about it, because no man is an island. I don't have all the questions, all the answers. Maybe some people in the box might help us out today with our questions, and we find answer to whatever it is we need tonight, hopefully. Fingers crossed. One love, I see Yuda. Welcome. So I'm going to start with you, Yuda, because I really want to engage. Maybe you have questions. If I don't get you, you can still type. Maybe I would have an understanding, so I might be able to answer your question. But I don't know if you have any contribution as well. I hope it's been a good day for you so far, Yuda. How are you?
Good evening, my sister.
Good
I'm
evening.
fine. I'm fine, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well done. Do you have a question or you have a contribution?
No, this moment I'm only listened. Maybe later can contribution.
Okay. So yeah, that's why I've opened the box so that people can come in and we'll talk some more about it. Or if they have any questions, let us ask it here and try to tackle it together so we have a better understanding. There's so many issues marriages are facing. Sometimes I hear some things and my jaws are like that. I'm like, what? And then two people who love each other, sometimes they can hurt each other badly. So bad, I'm telling you. So those are the things, it's hard sometimes to talk about. Like when your spouse really hurts you and you're struggling to forgive them and things like that, because if you're struggling to forgive them, how is that going to promote that oneness we're talking about? So those are the kind of things, I bring on here. Let's talk about it, because a lot of people are in a marriage relationship. Your challenge at the moment right now might not be what my own challenge is, But when we sit together like this, we'll talk about it, we'll rub minds together, we'll reflect about things. How can we enjoy this marriage? Because that is the sole purpose of marriage relationship. I believe strongly God's intention is for us to enjoy that relationship, not be enduring it, just keeping up with it. Okay, tomorrow is another day, we'll survive. No, so that's why I said a lot of things can happen in a marriage relationship that wants to break your union. It wants to break it by all means. Sometimes it's not even just husband and wife, having issues with one another. It could be external forces. It could be maybe the husband's family or the wife's family. They're bringing issues and problems. It's like they want to break you guys up. But if you're not together, if you're not committed, wholeheartedly, they might just easily break you guys. But Batunde, I see you. Thanks for joining. Guys, the box is open. I want to hear from us today. Marriage and oneness. What is your take on it? Can two work together except they agree? That is my question today. Can two work together except they agree? So how is that possible? Because if you want to work together with somebody, this is me trying to answer it in my own way. I want to work with you to build something. We would have to talk about how we're going to build it. Are we putting 4 steps? Are we putting 2 steps? If I just assume we're putting 4 steps and I'm not communicating with my spouse, and then he turns around to see, oh no, we're supposed to put 2. But because we didn't talk about it, and then we start again, no, it's 2, no, it's 4, no. Okay, stop. How do we want to build? Because you have to do this together. That's why when you're in a marriage relationship, it's no longer me, myself, and I. It's the 2 of you, and you have to agree on whatever it is. You have to decide together. I get it sometimes. Maybe it will be on the man to decide certain things, but he won't solely decide. They will still come and talk about it. Yes, I see you. They'll have to talk about it, and then of course the man will carry out whatever needs to be carried out. I get that. But when you just go and do stuff without letting your spouse know, there is danger in that as well, because one person may not have all the answers. Just like I say here, I don't have all the answers. That's why we come and talk about it here, so that you bring the answer, I bring some answers, and together we have solutions to that challenge we're faced with. So it's very crucial to be intentional. It's very crucial to communicate. It's very crucial to forgive. It's very crucial to love. Yuda, you were asking about then, finding the right person. In this world of today, there's a lot. I remember I was sharing, was it last week or the week before, when I was planning to get married, or when I met my own husband years ago, life wasn't this exposed, or things were still a bit civil. People still had honesty. People still had truth. Kind of, there was a lot of lies, don't get me, but not as rampant as we have it today. Sometimes I'm showing you this picture of me, and this is the real me. They're 2 different human beings, So there's a lot going on there. So people going into relationship in this time, in this present generation, it's a bit challenging. I know that. It's a bit challenging because you have all sorts. Some people feel they're now wiser, they know better, or some feel, okay, this happened to their parents, they want to take it out on their spouse. The way the mind is these days, and that's why it's very crucial. If you're planning to get married, please go for premarital counseling. It's very important. I cannot overemphasize this. I see you, Caleb, Bonjage. Thanks for joining. Guys, just send the invite. Let's talk some more about this topic. Oneness, marriage and oneness. Let's talk about it some more. I've given my talk. I want to hear from us. I want to learn from us as well, because there's so many aspects of this topic we can, talk about. And I asked the question, can two work together except they are in agreement? Can they work together except they're in agreement? And mind you, we're talking about marriage relationship now, not just, dating or whatever. This is marriage relationship. You're in that marriage already, and it seems like you're divided. Have you sat down to reflect on why it seems you're divided? What is causing that division? How do you intend to handle it? Because fighting one another is not going to help. You and I know that no matter how much you shout, I shout, we shout, and all of that, at the end of the day, we still have to sit down, amicably talk about things, and look for the right way to solving that problem. So you have to be understanding. Sometimes you have to be sacrificial. You have to just let go. You can't always have your way. In a marriage relationship, you cannot always have your way. I'm telling you. So you have to compromise. Sometimes, Rocky Queen, I see you. You have to compromise. When you're talking about building that oneness, what are you doing to help promote that oneness? Are you doing your thing in the east and your spouse is doing their own in the west? How is that going to bring that bond we're talking about? Do you talk about things? Is your spouse the type that they don't like talking? They don't like talking and that's it. How far has it gotten you in that relationship? If you're the type that does not talk in that relationship, how far have you gone in building oneness with your spouse? You sit down, be objective about these things. Think about it. Your contribution to that marriage, is it promoting oneness or is it bringing division? Except we're not truthful with ourselves, except we're not honest with ourselves. Those are the things. And like I said, couples can connect in so many ways emotionally. I see you. Emotionally, they can connect. Spiritually, they can connect. Physically, they can connect. Even intelligently, if I can put it that way, they can connect. And I've mentioned ways that couples, can overcome or build this oneness. We're talking about communication, intentional care, so to say, listening to one another, not just listening, active listening to one another, allow each other speak, hear each other, be there for one another, be empathetic towards one another, forgiving. Forgiveness is very crucial in a marriage relationship. If you're the type that, you know what, you offend me once, that is it. If that person was to be a stranger, of course, you don't have to see them again. Maybe, I don't know. It's okay, but this is your spouse. You're going to sleep in the same house. You're going to eat the same food. You're going to sleep on the same bed. You're going to drink the same water. You're going to be in the same environment most of the time. I mean, why not just let go and, allow peace to reign? And I've heard cases where my wife is just looking for trouble all the time. She doesn't like peace. I know some people are like that. It's their traits, their character, but we're not making excuses. Such person, both of you have work to do. You will have to help them bring out the best in them. We are supposed to bring out the best in each other. And if you notice that your spouse is too much for you to bear, that's why I say always get help, get support, get counseling if need be. I don't know why people will shy away from counseling, which can help that marriage relationship. When you're sick, you quickly run to the doctor. When your car is bad, you quickly call your mechanic, come fix your car. What else again? But when you have a problem in your relationship, why are you not quick to go and see a counselor? I don't understand. It's the same help you're getting so that there won't be problems again, so to say. I'm not saying counselors have all the answers, but they're there to help, and it depends on what kind of counselor you go for. There's so many couples therapists out there. There's so many couples counselors out there. So find them and let them help you if you're struggling so bad. There's nothing to be ashamed about, because you're in that marriage to make it work. You want that marriage to work. You want things to be good. You want there to be peace, to be love, to be joy in your marriage relationship. And sometimes it's a handful to handle for some people. So don't be ashamed if you have to get help, if you have to get counsel, to help that relationship. There's nothing bad in that. So I've given my talk, and I want to believe some of us have heard. And I don't know if you want to say something. Otherwise, I'll bring my puzzle and let's see, maybe that will bring people out. I know it's a weekday. Yeah, it's in the evening. Maybe some are I'm going to join Funmi later and they just dozed off or something. But it's fine. I really appreciate at least everyone listening on the FY page. I want to believe you've taken on board one or two things that would be beneficial to you. Just with Jose, thank you so much for joining in. I see you. Abolade Adama, I see you. Thanks for joining. Well appreciated. Let's see if there's anyone sending a request. Okay, no one there. So I'll just carry on talking, and maybe when it's half past and nobody's coming in, I don't know, maybe I might just do a bit of worship or something, or we call it a day because tomorrow is another day. I know the streets of TikTok is always busy. Yeah, let me put it that way. It's always busy. So thank you guys. In case you're just joining or you're just stopping by, my topic today is marriage and oneness. And I've given the talk today. I hope it's been a blessing to us. I will put my puzzle and let's see, maybe Yuda, you can get the puzzle. Otherwise, it will be here next week. No worries. It will give you time to go and do your research about it. So my puzzle for today, whilst we're at it, is why do we have to be quiet in church? Why do we have to be quiet in church? Guys, if you want to contribute to the talk today, please send an invite. I'll bring you in and we hear what you have to say. So Yuda, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate. It's just like you say, you just want to chill and listen. And I want to believe you've learned one or two things. And if I recollect one of your questions, finding the right person, it's a huge challenge. It's a
Thank you
huge
for the part.
challenge. Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Yes,
you're
that's
welcome.
good. Thank you for very much for the whole story what you tried to share. You know, you bring me back long time ago, and all that page for me is an like an how you call that in English? A station where the train is already passed over for the next stop. Because
Okay.
you're talking about forgiveness, you're talking about counselor, you're talking about talk teacher. Now, all that kind of things, they pass all the review. So,
Okay.
and that's the reason for me, let me say for me by myself,
Yeah.
um, when I say about race, because maybe I'm wrong, but correct me. You told
Yeah.
that before about the race is maybe someone this that where no okay. But for me, I discovered race is most important. Why? Because we are totally different from the other one.
Definitely.
Let me explain you something. Maybe you know that. I think that your mom, when someone come you without telling your mom that they come visit you, and the house is not nice, and your mom see you like a child and look in the other corner, you know already what you have to do, right? Your mom talk with eyes, right?
Yeah.
My mom too. So that is one example that not other race can understand us, our people.
Yeah.
So, and I'm another generation. You are right that you say in this time the new generation is a little bit difficult, but I'm a long time other generation. So I'm growing up in another way. So why I'm saying I make a mistake because when you start, let me by myself study the scripture, and I discover why our Creator Mosai tell them in that time, don't mix outside your race. I say no in my own words, but we can understand what I'm saying. It's
Yeah, I
not
do.
not not because he don't want, because he know better what is better for us. And if I'm looking back, I can say yes. Because I remember when I'm coming home, tell my mom that I'm gonna marry outside my race. My mom was not so happy, half half for me, but not the way she. grow me up. And
Mm.
I don't understand that time. I think, now why is this that? But after years, my mom has already passed away. I'm understanding why.
God rest her soul.
So that's the reason I'm telling you. Maybe for me, let me include by myself, but maybe other people not. But for me, it's very important to say that. And I have experienced so long on the road and so many things. That's the reason I say to you, I'm still waiting for, because before I was choosing by myself. Oh, that's maybe this nice. No, mistake. No, I decided. Okay, I bring my desire from my heart. He know me already because he created me. He know
Yeah.
exactly what I like,
Yeah.
what I don't like. So I just wait with patience. It's not easy, but I
Mm.
know somewhere there on this earth walk one that can match with me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's never late, because if I see um, uh, our ancestor before Abraham and Sarah, they are so old, never can dream that they can have a child. So when you read
Mm.
that story, I'm thinking about and thinking nothing is impossible. So maybe I have to wait and the old age, and then I find someone. And the last maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we're gonna be very happy with each other than all the years before. So we know, we
Mm.
never know. So that's the
Wow.
reason I say I'm waiting. And
Okay.
look, the way you explain this evening, the way of talk, I say, wow, it is well educated person, you. There's a compliment. And I make a joke. So if you have a twin sister, because I say, wow, that kind of
Wow.
woman that like that way talk and the way seeing, that is that I liked. That what I'm telling you, the inside. The outside is beautiful. It's okay. It's no problem. But you know by yourself, you tell her this after times,
Yeah.
yes, you're gonna be, you are not so, but the inside is have to be more beautiful and growing, and that
Yes.
is for me
Yes.
more
Yeah.
precious, more like
Yeah.
when you got a sorry, when you have a pearl, a pearl, you know how they create a pearl in a oyster. They take time before they're gonna
Mm.
get nice, something nice, you know.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that is the patient I have to wait for until the pearl come outside for me. Of the most I bring it for me.
Mm.
That is my
Thank you.
contribution.
Yeah. Thank you. So I just want to, and it's because you mentioned the high one, the book, the Bible as well.
Hmm.
I understand your perspective from the Old Testament,
Hmm.
when instructions was given, don't marry outside your race and all of that. I understand, but we are in a new dispensation in Jesus Christ. So if I am from China and I am a born again child of God, I'm a Christian, or I believe in Christ, and another man in America, is a Christian that believe in Christ. He's not my race, okay? He's not from my country. He's not from my tribe. But because we are in Christ together, we cut across that race, that one aspect. And again, I don't know how much you've read of the Bible to know that there's a portion, maybe I'll have to find it, that says what they feared most came upon them. So don't be afraid. Don't let race make you feel, oh, maybe it's the wrong person, maybe it's the right person. No. And you said one key thing, it's what is on the inside. So, Yuda, you might find a woman from your race or from another race, but the inside is pure, is beautiful. Yeah? It's amazing. This person loves Christ like you do, if you get me. So it's beyond the race, it's beyond the culture. Just like you say, it's not about this physical beauty or whatever. It's what is inside of that person. You might find somebody you really like and really likes you. The inside is beautiful, just like you wanted, and it's from another race. Are you telling me you're going to say no to that woman? You that answer me.
That is a good question. I understand you. This is the next what I'm trying to explain you. This stage I'm already past because that's happened to me long time before.
Oh, okay. So I hope you have
So
healed.
that's the reason I say I'm waiting for. I studied the scripture, not the old side and the new side. One question to you:
Yeah.
if you say you are a believer, and
Mm-hmm.
you know that the Son of the Most High, that what they call him in the Greek's name, uh, is
Sure.
coming here. He coming to this world, but with
Yeah.
one major, I call that, oh, I forgot how to say the English. He said, let me say, he asked, if you love me,
Mm-hmm.
from part of that, he said, keep my commandments.
Yeah.
So if you then you have to asking what is the commandments? There are more than 630 commandments from the
Okay.
Old and the New Testament. So
Okay.
if you study that part one of them and the most of from the biggest one, the Ten Commandments that
Mm-hmm.
our Father give us.
Yeah.
So that is the principle. So, and one of the commandments for me is very important because I saw that happened. Um, it's only one commandment. I think the number 5. I don't know out of my head. So that
Yeah. So which one? That's one.
you have to honor your parents. And on the back it said then you have a long life, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I see that happened when I'm honor my parents, but my sister don't honor my parents,
Oh.
and she passed very early. I'm
Oh.
shocked.
Oh.
So this that scripture is telling you is the same in that time, is the same now in the future. So for me, that's the reason I'm say I'm waiting for. And let me tell you about race. I never dream about that I can have connect with my people and my people. Why I'm saying that because I'm still not only the script but the history of where I'm coming from, and
Okay.
never dream maybe I can have on TikTok maybe a China people connection or of Australia of American, you name it, because you still tell them by right. The TikTok street is always busy. But he brought me connect with my people from Africa, and the most of them on TikTok is Nigeria. So my question
Oh.
is, why he don't bring me with a Chinese or from a Caribbean or no, you name it? Hmm?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So that's mean he have I call that. Oh my goodness, English. English is not my
No.
language.
It's all right. It's all right. You're trying. Well done. Well done.
So, and that's the reason I'm telling you. And the last one, that's the reason I'm asking. You said, okay, I respect that, but for me, it was interesting when you're talking about a little bit part of your husband. I say, wow, okay. And then you say, okay, thought so far. I say, I respect that, so I don't ask too much from that. So for me, it's very important to know my people more and more because they let me tell you, they steal, they rob my culture, they destroy my language. That
Oh.
I have to learn the oppressor's language so that I can communicate with my people outside where I'm coming from. You
Okay. I think
understand?
that's your phone.
You
Yeah, I
understand?
do.
You understand? So it's
Yeah.
these things happen now. It's not because I'm choosing by myself. I believe that he make it ready for me.
Okay, let me ask you, Yuda, what is your heart desire when it comes to having a wife? What is your
Okay,
choice? What is your heart
that's
desire?
good. You repeat. That's the reason I'm asking you about twin sister, because all the things what you say. No, with all respect, serious now.
I
All
get,
you things
yeah.
what you say, I desire that a woman that have to talk natural is that you can be angry at each other, but come together, forgive each other, study the scripture, pray together, everything together. That is my desire. And a woman that fear the Most High is the
Okay.
first place.
So
Yeah, huh?
in your mind, Yuda, what culture do you see in your mind with this woman?
My own race, black
Your
race.
race. Okay,
Yes.
so are you living in your culture, in your how do I put it? Are you living in where you were born?
No, I live in a country where from my oppressors, from my ancestor before me.
So are you telling me that do you go to church if I can ask, please?
I left the church because I discovered a lot of things that are not writing in the scripture.
Okay, I understand and respect that.
Because I many
So where
okay.
you are right now, your location, are
Mm-hmm.
you telling me you haven't met anyone, whether man or woman, that is from your tribe?
From my tribe. I carry a name. It's not for nothing. This name on TikTok.
Judas tribe.
Yes, that is my tribe for from ancestor long time before. Because what
Okay,
happened? What happened to my ancestor before? What you read in the scripture, I can go back to history. It is exactly what's happened, and
okay.
that's the reason I know.
So I'm sensing, I might be wrong,
No.
because of your desire,
Mm-hmm.
because of your choice in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you have a particular kind of woman in mind and is making you to shut out every other tribe or every other that is not what you're thinking.
No, 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 no. Look, how I can put explain you this?
I really want to help,
Yes, yes,
honestly.
I understand
But
you.
I
I
know
understand.
this
But
English could be a
it's not,
barrier.
no, no, it's not that I don't close door for not other tribe of other race, no. But
Sorry, Johnny Babes, I see you there. I acknowledge you. Thank you so much for your patience. It's just that, these are the reasons we're here to help each other as much as possible. So if you also pay attention, Johnny Babes, you might have a question or something to say to help Yuda as well, if it's okay. So I will still come back to you. But thank you for all you're doing. I really see you and appreciate you, Johnny Babes. Thank you. So Yuda, please carry on.
okay, okay, let me coming back. What I discover, because it is not from one day of 1 week, but it's years study. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm a digger. I love digger. I love digger in the scripture. I love digger in the history, and put together so that I have a pattern. Maybe I'm wrong, but the time gonna tell me later. But until next time is until I can see. I don't say I'm right, but it's okay. Um, you what I'm discovered that our race have something that other race don't have. It's
Okay.
the spirituality. The I don't know how to explain it. They are more. Um, oh my goodness!
The
How far?
topic is on the screen, Johnny Babes. So, Yuda, because of time, yeah, I really would want to do this one-on-one with you, but because of time and I'm
Okay,
mindful of other people,
no problem. No
let
problem.
me ask you, what would it take you to go back to your root in terms of your, whether it's the geographical location of your people, your tribe, and
Mhm.
look for a wife?
I did it already. I'm starting. Let me tell you very short.
Is that the one you say is in the past?
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no. That's the
okay.
beginning. Beginning. Let me tell you something. Short,
Hmm.
short, because it's a long story.
Okay.
Um, 2 years ago, no, 3 years ago, when I discovered a lot of things that I put together, and I'm bringing back to the table to the Most High. I say, listen, this time I discovered this. Is the truth or not? And help me because I have an idea. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And if no is I'm all right, you're gonna bless it. It's not, you close the door. But both everything that I experienced, he blessed that. And let me tell you, I'm gonna shock you maybe. Let me tell you. Everybody say you are crazy, but I take a decision because I will make a decision to the Most High together, and he bring me so clear that I can do it. With other words, a green light. I travel from Europe to Africa by my own in
Okay.
12 days by car. And
Oh,
I was not afraid of nobody and nothing. I passed over 6 countries before
wow.
I arrived. And why? Because I discovered I was thinking part of my ancestor. But the problem is now for me, it's not a problem for the Mossad, but the problem for me is because I discovered in my, maybe sound very strange, in my DNA blood, I have 30% from different, what they call it today, countries, because before the European come to Africa was no border. Everybody was, you
Traveling
know.
anywhere, yeah.
Okay, so our people, my people, travel from one place to another place. So they across different, what we call now countries. So
Okay.
from my ancestor, they're coming from 3 different country, from Africa. There's one, Sierra Leone. The second is Nigeria, and the third is Ghana.
Oh, okay.
So okay, so that is very short now. It is long story. I
Yeah,
keep
it's
it there
okay.
so that you can understand me why. You understand me?
Yes, yes, I get you. So,
Okay.
okay, so my take to that would be, even as you have traced the origin of your tribe to these nations, yes,
Yes. Yes.
does not mean your wife will be from those tribes. And it could mean your wife could be from those tribes. That was why I asked you, what do you picture in your mind? Who is this person in your mind you see to be your wife?
A black woman.
A black woman. Okay, we're
Yes.
getting somewhere. A black
Not
woman.
no yellow, not white, black woman.
Okay, I get you. Black woman. So
Yes.
what you had before, was it a black woman?
White woman.
Okay. Okay, so I get you. I'm getting you now. So that's why I said you have said you've tabled things before God and prayed about it.
Exactly.
Then you have to position yourself where you will meet these people, these tribes.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned TikTok. I don't know how active you are on TikTok. People meet on TikTok and they get together. I don't know. But you have to place yourself where you will meet them. Yeah. And that was why I asked you, do you go to church? If you don't, you meet them in church. If you work, you can meet them in your workplace, in your community, wherever you are. Because these 3 tribes you've mentioned, they travel a lot. I know that. They are almost in every nations of the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the reason. I know, I understand you.
Okay.
Uh, when I don't know how long TikTok exists, but the time that I read about TikTok, I think many years ago, and I
Okay.
just I just download the app for curiosity, so to see how that works. But at that time, I
Oh.
said, no, I don't like this. Okay, but last year, the Most High brought me in a position that I say, okay, let me see what TikTok, and from that time, I'm coming into and talk. And the first meeting, I don't meet. China. I don't meet Malaysia. I don't meet Australia of America. But I meet one person out Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
then it started. I was thinking for me was new. So I don't have no idea how TikTok work and doing.
Works. Okay. Okay.
Okay, that person tell me and explain me very lovely
Mm-hmm.
every things that I have to know how TikTok work, and not
Mm-hmm.
only that, but warning me for things that can happen. And
Okay.
until this day, I appreciate that person. That person is like my daughter. I call her already. You are my firstborn daughter from TikTok.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So anytime when I need of information how things work, what is thing, I hear that. What is that? I go there and I'm asking her, and she explain me. And if she don't know, she go and inform and come back and explain me.
Okay.
So then my question is why? Why I don't meet another other type of race? Why? Tell me.
You know what? Your journey in life, God knows. God knows your journey in life. He
Exactly.
knows the people you're going to meet at every season, every moment.
Exactly.
That is
Thank you.
beyond your control. So
Exactly.
tomorrow, who knows? You might meet a Chinese woman.
No way, Chinese. No, no, no.
Yuda, maybe we will talk after. You can DM me because I really
Okay.
want to give Johnny Babes,
Okay.
I hope I've been able to help in a little way, but I understand at
Yes.
least what
Okay.
you're saying, which is
Okay. Okay.
valid
Yeah.
as well.
You are
But
welcome.
God knows who He has created for you, and I
Exactly.
pray that He will bring that person your way. Yeah.
Yes.
All
I
right.
believe.
Thank you.
I believe that. Thank you for your time.
Wow, what a session. Johnny Babes, my apologies to you for keeping you waiting. I want to hear from you. I hope you've had a lovely day so far. And thank you for your patience. Thanks for joining in. I love to hear from you. It could be maybe you want to say one or two things to Yuda, or you want to talk about the topic, marriage and oneness. Please, the floor is yours. Thank you so much for your patience. Yeah, Johnny Babes. Oh, I hope you're still there. I hope you're there. Johnny Babes, let's hear from you. That safety girl, thanks for joining. I see you. You're welcome to Inside. So, Johnny Babes, I'm going to wait for you whilst I repeat my puzzle for today. I think this puzzle is coming back next week, definitely. Why do why do we have to be quiet in church? That is my puzzle for today. It's a funny one, but there's an answer I'm hoping to hear. If you get it right, you get my gift. Otherwise, I'll bring you back next week. You go and do your homework and see if you can attempt it or can try the puzzle
Okay.
if you get it. You want to
I have
try,
a,
Yuda?
I have a question about the puzzle. You're talking about why you have to quiet in the church.
Oh,
There
oh,
is
you
the
can unmute. Sorry, my dear. Sorry, Yuda. 1 second. Johnny, yes, you can unmute yourself.
there is
Oh, you can unmute. Sorry, my dear. Sorry, Yuda. 1 second. Johnny, yes, you can unmute yourself. So there's an echo. Sorry, my dear. Sorry, Yuda. 1 second. Johnny, yes, you can unmute yourself. Johnny, babes, I don't know if you received the call. Sorry, Yuda. 1 second. Oh, dear. Johnny, yes, you can unmute yourself. Okay. So, Johnny Babes, I think maybe you received the calls whilst you're in the box. If you close the calling app altogether so that the echo will go away, sometimes that happens. If that doesn't work, if you've done that, close the calling app on your phone and try to speak. Maybe it will work this time around. Let me see if I can unmute you. Sorry, Yuda. Okay. Are you there, Johnny Babes?
problem.
Sorry, Yuda. Okay. Are you there, Johnny Babes?
Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened.
Okay. Okay, so do me a favor. Can you drop
Sorry
off
about
the
that.
box and then come back? I'll bring you back on. Yeah? Can you drop off the box? Thank you. I'll bring you back on. Yeah? Yuda, what's your question? What
I,
did you say?
I,
What did
I,
you...
Oh yes. The question is about is the woman of both of them, the man too, to be
No, no,
quiet
no,
in the
no,
church.
no. My puzzle, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, why do we have to be quiet in church?
Oh,
We.
the we.
Why do
Okay.
we have to be quiet in
Okay.
church? There's
Okay.
a
I
reason.
understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So if you want to try that, okay, Johnny Babes, let me try to bring you up. Latoya, I see you. Thanks for joining. Hopefully it works because sometimes when you're in the box and you receive a call and you try to now speak, it will kind of be echoing. So you might have to close the calling app or you drop and come back so that the echo can go away. So we're talking on marriage and oneness here on Inside today. I don't know. I just hope that there is no network issue because I see one or two. I even tried to bring them on. Yeah, it just goes away. Johnny Babes, if you're there, you can write, but send an invite so I can bring you back up because I'm trying to look for you. Yeah, I've sent that invite. Hopefully, not now. Hopefully, it brings you back up. You know, all this technology network, it brings issues sometimes. So I'm just gonna play this. I'll take a
Bringing
sec.
hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light.
Johnny Babes, if you're still there, I think it's network because it's hooked right now. I've sent the okay, no. Yeah, okay. I think it might be back. Let's see. So I've sent you the invitation. Hopefully that brings you back. I don't know, it's just frozen for whatever reason. Yeah. I hope that works. Otherwise, oh, shame, shame, shame. You hope the puzzle doesn't have double meaning. Well, you try to answer and then I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Why do we have to be quiet in church? There's a reason why. Because whatever. So you even attempt, try. If you're right, of course you get the gift, and if you're not, it's fine. So marriage and oneness. I'm just going to reiterate what I've said, and maybe in 9 minutes time I will be ending this live and hoping to come back your way on Monday with a general topic. It's been quite insightful. It's been quite nice, having that talk with you, Yuda, because I know some people out there listening as well might be saying, this guy is saying what I really wanted to say, or asking the questions. I know some people might say, you know what, it's only my tribe. I want my tribe. There's nothing wrong in that. Just make sure that this person, you know them, you have the same language, they understand you, you understand them, the love is mutual, the respect is mutual, and all of those things that a relationship entails. Because if you're not speaking the same language to start with, how do you intend to build that relationship before it even grows to the level of marriage? So relationship takes work. It's hard work. That's why I always say marriage is not for boys and girls. Marriage is for mature man, mature woman. Because sometimes, and it has nothing to do with age either, I'm telling you. It has nothing to do with age. Some people are young and very mature. Because in my culture, singing means leaving the church. Singing means leaving the church. Oh, you don't sing in your church. The Unstoppable. You are welcome. Thanks for joining. How are you today?
Ah, beautiful but hectic anyway.
I can imagine.
It's been a day.
Even me, I hope I'm not looking sleepy because I think I'm only 70% awake right now.
Oh, it's been a day. It's really been.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate you. We've been talking about marriage and oneness, and I've been having very interesting conversation with Judah. He's had questions, about relationship and things like that, culture, relationship, and of course he addressed the topic as well. So I hoping Johnny Babes, thank God. I hope you're there and it's okay now. Let's hear from you, Johnny Babes. Sorry, Unstoppable. She was here, but we had network issues. So I had to drop her to bring her back.
Hi, Sister Fumi. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, I can hear you now. There's no echo, so thank God.
Thank you.
Yes, so apologies for all that. Sometimes I wish I could just tap my fingers and all this technical problem will just disappear. So, Unstoppable, apologies. I'll come back to you, but I need to hear from Johnny Babes.
Yes, I think with my lovely brother that was talking, maybe I will start from there.
Okay.
Hi, Yuda. Nice to meet you.
Evening.
Yes, good evening. You are so much talking some deep talks, very, very insightful. And you seem to be very, very much experienced as well in the area of, relationships. And also, you seem to be a very much religious person.
Yeah.
Which is something I really, really admire from, how you were talking and what you were talking about. Also, in the aspect of relationships, in terms of marrying from your tribe, what I think in that aspect is, when it comes to marriage, especially for people like us who have a faith-related lifestyle, or who are confessing or are professing to be people of faith. I think Sister Fumi tried to break that down in terms of the oneness of two people who decide to come together in a relationship leading to a marriage. One of the main things that I believe is really, really important in terms of choosing a life partner is there needs to be a common ground when it comes to your faith and when it comes to your belief.
Definitely.
Otherwise, there's going to be conflicts. There's going to be, every relationship has conflicts. We know that. But that will be an added one, that there can be big issues around that. So it works much better if you say you believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you're born again, you believe whatever you believe in, you need to have someone that you share that same faith with. The reason being is that the children you're going to have, they will not be confused. They will not be confused. They will know who they are. They will know where they belong. They will know who to believe. And you both will also agree in the way you want to raise them. Because different beliefs and different religious practices have different variations with regards to having kids, one, raising them, two, and nurturing them as well spiritually. So that's very, very paramount. The aspect of marrying from your tribe, in one way, it's good, okay? But there's also the other side of it. Now, in terms of it being good, different traditions, different cultures, different mindset in terms of values, okay? Different people from different countries see family when the term family in different lights. In some traditions and cultures, when they say this is my family, they are talking about mom, dad, husband, wife, children, grandkids, father-in-law, mother-in-law, all mixed together, right? And you're
Extended
gonna be,
family. Yeah.
yes, you're gonna be having, even though you and this person are married, you're gonna be having mother-in-law, father-in-law, auntie-in-law, uncles-in-law, cousins, all involved in your home. That's how they view family. Whilst in some other cultures and traditions, they believe in nuclear family, husband, wife, children first, and then the others. So if you're getting married to someone, I think that is one important aspect that you need to look at. Are you somebody who is very much of a extended family oriented? Are you coming from an extended family oriented background? Or are you, a nuclear family mindset person? Those are things that you look at. So that is very key, because if you are happy to go across tribes, that's one thing to look at. Whilst, on the other hand, if you are looking for your tribe, it might be an easy way out, because obviously you probably believe the same things, you practice the same way, you have the same mindset, you look at life and family life, raising kids, faith and everything the same way. So I think you need to look at what is for you, Yuda. You need to look at what will work for you. If you are someone who believes it's me, my wife, my kids, don't go for somebody who believes, no, my mom is coming, my dad is coming, we all live together, we eat the same food, we live in the same house. That's one big thing you need to look at. Also, you need to look at someone that you share the same faith together, like I said. Your beliefs, your practices. What do they think about relationships before marriage? What do they think about sex before marriage? What do they think about alcohol, cigarettes? Some people can say, oh, I'm a Christian, but their beliefs around that cannot be Christian, So it all comes again with you being prayerful and allowing the Lord to lead you, to be honest, in that light, Yuda. I don't know if I made any sense.
Thank you. Thank you, you did. I want to believe so. Yuda, you're still there?
I'm here. Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay.
And also regarding marriage and oneness, I think and I believe if there is no oneness in marriage, there is no marriage, to be honest.
Yeah.
If there is no oneness, if there is no unity, if there is no togetherness, there is no marriage. Bible says two shall become one flesh.
Yeah.
Say, therefore shall the man leave his mother and father and cleave to his
That was
wife.
my first Bible reference today. So thank you
Wow.
for reiterating that.
Absolutely. There has to be a living. There has to be a living. And I know the Bible makes reference to a man. And I want to actually, say it goes for both parties.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you find out that even for us, the women, it's hard for us to leave, our moms or our dads. They normally say girls are normally clingy to their dads. I'm not sure if it's different with other cultures, but sometimes even women, we find it hard to leave, in a way that everything that happens in the marriage, your dad should know, and the dad comes stomping in to your husband, and fires up with words and all that stuff, and that causes a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
Or doing things in secret, with your family, unbeknown to the spouse, whether it's from the husband or from the wife's perspective. That's a division that causes division. It causes lack of trust. It even causes problems that go deeper than that, because at the end of the day, if you are not working together, say for instance in the aspects of finances, which is a big one. If the husband is hiding their salary from the wife, you know, or the wife is hiding her pay slip from the husband. Bills are piling up. Maybe one person is not paying their own part of the bills, especially those of us who live in the diaspora. We know that we work together, you know, we work together. Husband goes to work, wife goes to work, and we come together. It depends. 'Cause some couples share 50-50. Some people do 90-10. Some people do
All sorts.
70-30.
Whatever works, you know?
Whatever works, yes, you know. But if one person is not doing their own part, that's dividing the family financially. The other person is hiding and sending money to family, or hiding and building a house, you know,
No.
without the other party knowing. The day that comes out, that is trust broken. That is like, I would say, it's a form of a betrayal. Whilst the other person is working and sweating, the other person is doing what they want to do with the money. That's unfair. So, I mean, oneness is so key for the success, for the, you know, progress of the family, of the marriage, for even for you to plan your life together, you know, in terms of retirement, in terms of, or even not retirement, business investment, to make, you know, financial impact, you know, for yourselves and for posterity. It's very important to be one. Very, very important to be one. I'll stop
you.
here for now.
Thank you. In fact, you know, you have overemphasized some of the key points, some of them that I mentioned as well. Oneness, to build that, it takes two.
Yeah.
It takes two. The same language, same everything. Otherwise, division is what you're aiming at. And you know what division causes? Separation and divorce. So that's why I say marriage, it entails a lot, mentally, physically, emotionally, and all of that.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready to share life with that person, please don't chase after them. Don't chase after them. Before you got married, it was me, myself, and I. But now you're married, is us together. We to be your new vocabulary, not I. If you get me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. If you would have missed out on with this network palaver. Anyway, thank God we still got there in the end. So I'm coming to you, the unstoppable mindset. My puzzle for today, guys, is why do we have to be quiet in church? Why do we have to be quiet in church? If you know the answer, you're in the box, please tell us. Otherwise, I'll bring you back next week. It's fine. So the unstoppable mindset, I'm coming to you. What's your take on this topic? Or if you want to add to the other conversation, I don't know how much of it you heard. So the floor is yours, ma'am. You're welcome, and thank you for your patience.
No, one love. Because if I had to look at the way I was tired, I'm not supposed to come to TikTok. But I just remember you come on Thursday and immediately you pump up. I just saw it on my phone. I said, oh, let me just go and quickly show love. I just went to bed and sleep. God bless you, sis. Well done. God bless you. Well done so much, madam. You've really said a lot. You've said a lot because you walked around the topic. You've really walked around the topic. Let me look at that puzzle. This is your puzzle. What is it now? Whoa.
Why do we keep quiet in church?
Yeah, I believe it's to reverence God. It's all about God. It's to reverence Him, because a lot of people don't know, not because they don't know, but because their understanding has not gotten to that place to know. Some will be pressing phone while they're inside the church. Some, they will even resume the last gist they had some Sundays ago, which is not supposed to be. It's supposed to be total God. When you
Okay,
come
so
into His presence.
are you attempting my puzzle?
I think I did. I think that's what I just did as intro first. Why do we keep silent in church? Why do we keep quiet in church? Why do we keep quiet in church?
I thought you were starting a sermon. I'm like,
He's unstoppable, mind you. He's unstoppable.
Yes,
please
ma'am.
let me just stop you right there.
She's just firing.
You know, I'm looking for just one sentence.
Oh,
That's why I say, you see, you overthink things. You guys, that's why I bring this puzzle. We're two strong thinkers. Let's relax a bit.
it's not my fault.
I was
My
wondering. I
battery
was
has
trying to bring.
overcharged. My
Okay,
battery
go
has
ahead.
overcharged and it's supposed to be resting now, but still I'm not resting. So
I
that
have
is why you're
woken
saying
you
that it's
up.
overworking.
I think I'm like, she hasn't mentioned oneness. What is going on? I just need one
Oh, God.
sentence. One. Why do we have to be quiet in church? Because
To reverend.
that's it.
To reverence God. Okay, to reverence God. Let me
No.
leave it there.
No.
Let me go back to the business of the day. Take your puzzle, keep it. Don't come and stress me.
Don't worry, I'll bring you back next week. You have enough time to go and study, do research. Thank you, but no
Yes.
thanks.
Yeah, so no, this topic is so beautiful and people, you need to wake up. Oh. I'm becoming to come and hear all this. Because there's a lot of, I don't want to use the word, but we can't run away from it. There's a lot of nonsense templates that they are picking round
Oh
that
my
cannot
goodness.
help them. It can't help them now. It can't help their future. The high time they know the truth and begin to live in it. Marriage is sweet. Marriage is beautiful. If you understand the language of oneness. And just like I've said, she has really said a lot. And this oneness is what is causing a lot of havoc now in the society, because majority of people don't understand the language of oneness. What they see is two people diving together. And that's not the purpose. Two heads are better than one.
Yes.
You come together. You are not struggling on your own self any longer. You are not trying to do this and stretch yourself, overthink issues. Now you are putting your head together to plan together, to build together. That's the essence. And the language of we. Because even my husband, it took him a bit at the early stage. Whenever I say hi, you want to say when we're praying and we're about to finish, you say we. I said, love, no, it's not we, it's hi. You need to understand this language of we are one. And because we're one, when it comes to that issue of marriage, we represent one. And the same thing work with the children. Because it got to a time, their manipulation, when they needed something, they would talk to you, like wanting to take permission about something. They know the one that's, okay, they can play around daddy. They can't play around me. They will use that to go and ask. They will come to me, ask. They will stylishly go behind to ask him. And he has goofed one time or two times like that, saying the opposite thing that I said. And when I heard, I said, I had to call him into a corner. I said, whenever they come to you, ask them, what did mommy say? When they come and ask, what did daddy say? Because
I'm laughing
if you are
because
not careful,
That's good. Yeah,
I can relate.
I can
you
relate
understand?
as well.
So because if you are not careful, they will make you people to become two.
They will tangle
and
you.
they will not use your head. They will hit both heads together. And before
Yep.
you know, somebody will be daddy's best. Somebody will be mommy's best. No language that kind of language does not exist in my home. And it's as if something will be imbibed over the year. And this had to do with check and balance and what we study, what we feed on every day. Because they mirror us. And just like I always tell my kids, you will hear different things outside, but we have a map. We have a manual we follow. Nothing short of the Bible. We believe in the Bible. Whatever the Bible says is what you follow, not what people tell you, because this word will tell you different kind of things. But you should always remember where you need to go to. You will navigate through this truth. You will navigate through this truth because they are watching, they are listening, they are looking at what we do every day, more than what we say. They are looking at our actions. And that is really telling a lot. So if boys and girls are coming together, calling themselves mommy and daddy, something is not balanced, because you will see the behavior and the way they will talk. Everything is about me, 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 me. I can't do this for someone. You can't stress me out. And this new language of mental health, in as much as that mental health is very good, they've overused it to the extent that every tiny thing is mental health. Nobody can stress my mental health. I cannot kilo the. What is the wahala? This is for us to enjoy life. Marriage is not a prison. I've heard somebody told me before that marriage is a prison. I don't want to find myself in that kind of shackle. Marriage is not a
They're not
prison.
enjoying it. Maybe that's why they're using that word.
Yes. And I had to explain. I said, the minute you remove God factor, then you will have something else. The package will be different. If it is marriage, married by God, then you can never discard God. It must be from up. God, your husband, wife, and children. So if your tree is not in that format, it cannot work. No matter how you try to bend it. So this oneness you're talking about, I pray that this message will be so loud to go out there through the Holy Spirit to minister into people's heart. People tell me something, they said, you talk about the Holy Spirit. What about people who don't have the Holy Spirit? How do they enjoy their marriages? I said, you are very correct. Some people enjoy their marriage without the Holy Spirit. But I cannot tell you what I do not practice. This is what I practice. This is what works for me 24/7. I've seen it over time working for me. But those ones you're talking about, they have come to see what is good and what is bad. And they decided to pick and say, okay, I want to live this lifestyle, follow good. And they begin to follow. When one is screaming, the other one is quiet. They've come to that place to see. But the difference between us and them is that there's an inner voice that tells us what to do at every given time, that teaches us how to handle situations and matters. Even when we feel like talking, he works on us. There's a personal working, because there have been days when I felt, okay, my husband is doing this, and I wanted to go and report him to our King of Glory, which is my Abba. I had to go to him. I went down to start praying. You will be shocked, my sis. By the time I prayed, the first one, the second one, I was praying for myself. I just had a flashback. What was I saying? This is me praying for myself. And the minute I said, God, what is happening? Why did you twist my tongue? I came to report him, but I realized I was praying for myself. And that's when I realized it wasn't the problem. I was the problem at that minute. But if not for God, I won't see it like that. I would have thought it was a problem. But I was the one, and it was working on me to really enjoy him, because I was trying to change someone to come to the level where I am in faith. And God had to remind me, you were not like this many years ago. So you can't expect the two of you to be at the same level. I brought you from somewhere. I'm working on him. You are not his father. I am his father. That is my work. Train your children. Don't train him. So these are a lot of things that it does for us that a lot of people don't know. So when they see us there blooming, shining, they don't understand what is going on. And that is what we're spreading for them to understand. So well done. This oneness thing is a big deal. It's a real big deal. So I don't want to repeat what she has said, because she has really tackled and picked it from her. But that oneness is the issue. People just think they can marry anyhow. You can't marry anyhow, because you will get out anyhow as well. God help us. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very insightful. My goodness. Wow. Insight is on fire today. I'm so happy. It's not even about the quantity of people, but the quality of what we're giving out there, which I'm so blessed by today. I'm so happy. Thank you so much, the Unstoppable Mindset. Thank you for that. I have my brother in the box. Welcome, TJ Dairo. Thank you so much for always supporting. I really, really appreciate you. And I know you picked one or two things. Quick, sharp. So I hope the day has not been too busy. You're welcome. We'd love to hear from you, sir.
Yes, I think good evening, first of all, and good evening to everyone. I picked the tail end of what the previous speaker was talking about. I can see on here you've got pinned marriage and oneness. Can you just give me a quick...
Okay, so well, in my talk, I kind of dissected it a bit. Marriage and oneness, the challenges that it faces for couples to be together is lack of communication. And I had to cite the Bible as well. Say a man will leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they will become one. So that seals that foundation. But most
Yeah.
times you find out that husband is cleaving to wife, wife is cleaving to husband, and yet they're still cleaving to their parents or relatives. So they're not building that oneness in that marriage. And issues of life also can come to divide them.
Yeah.
Or are they one such that they will fight that issues of life and not fight themselves? So it depends on what angle you want to look at it.
Yeah. So being married doesn't automatically mean you're one. In the eyes of God, you are one, but it's a process to
Yeah.
becoming one.
Okay.
And that takes a while because of the difference in background, the difference in upbringing. Even though both of you are saved, you're still different.
Oh
And
yeah,
so it's a
definitely.
process, and we serve a God of process. So the even our oneness with God is a process. Day by day we move closer to God, and so in the uh, institution of marriage, it takes time for oneness to happen. But a couple of things are also very important in
Okay.
making sure that people become one, or at least they're working in the same direction. Amos 3:3 says, "Can two work together except they agree?"
Ross,
So,
that's my
can,
question for
can
today.
you, yeah, can you work with someone who is unwilling to be one with you?
Yeah.
So, what that automatically pulls out is the fact that, listen, there's an alignment that needs to take place. There needs to be a coming together to agree that, look, we want to be one. And in what areas do we really want to be one? Because I heard the previous speaker when she said that, the fact is that, you can't change. We're talking about our husband and trying to change. You can't change anybody. So
No.
there's some things that will be unique to your partner, or there's some things that they will like that you won't like. So you can't be one on those things, but you can be respectful of their opinion. But in terms of the key areas of marriage, it is really important that I say to couples, you need to sit down and align your values, align and talk about these things. Communication is a big part, right? Talk about your values, talk about the things that you want to institute into your marriage. Be agree on it, and pray on it.
Yeah.
Oneness to be one, there's a level of agreement, like I said. Secondly, and not just physical alignment, but also spiritual alignment, right?
Yeah.
It's on multiple levels. Oneness is, it seems like it's one line, but when you break it down, there are different links in that oneness. There's spiritual oneness, there is physical oneness, there is
Emotional.
ambition oneness, there is vision one. So
Financial oneness.
financial oneness, so
Yeah.
it's multifaceted, right?
Yeah.
And it's important that so that you don't get overwhelmed by it as you go through the process. It's important to take out time. I advise couples to say, let's sit down. What does this particular area, spirituality, mean to both of us? Let's align. Let's reason together. Let's agree
Yeah.
that this is what it means for us. And so we will work on this. What does financial alignment mean? Financial oneness. Okay, what's your spending habit? What's my spending habit? What are my priorities? What are your priorities? I'm aligning it. It may never be 100%, but the more you sit down and you talk about things, the more you put it up front rather than expecting it to just solve itself, which usually ends in people uh destroying one another,
Yes, so money is
emotional
a big one.
damage,
Yeah, Johnny big.
frustrations and all that. Oneness is not something that automatically happens. It requires work.
Intentional. That was the word I used. You have to be
Intentional, that's
intentional
correct.
about it. Yeah.
So you need to be intentional about it. And I say again, it sounds very, very textbook, but it also makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
If you want to work with somebody, you need to sit down and decide your terms of agreement and what you agree on to work together on, right? You need to be able to
Business
sit.
transaction.
Well,
It
well, well,
sounded
well,
like one.
to be honest, I mean, if you're having people in your life to work with you on a journey, if you employ somebody in a company, and marriage is not like employing somebody in a company, but if you want to work on a project with somebody, you need to decide, number one, you need to have the same goal.
Yeah.
And then you need to start talking about roles and responsibilities, which is another thing. And that might not seem like something that's important in oneness, but actually,
Yeah, it is.
it's very, very important to understand your roles and define your roles and your responsibilities so that you're not duplicating effort. And 0.5 plus 0.5 makes 1, rather than, trying to duplicate effort. So all these things are quite important. But the foundation of it for people of faith is our belief, aligning ourselves and our belief in God, which is the basic tenets of our faith. Number 2 is aligning vision and aligning your ideas or your beliefs around various aspects of your marriage. For example, raising kids. What is, you have to be one there, but it won't automatically happen because you were both raised differently. So it's important to sit down and to discuss it. How do we want to raise our kids? So that when you're talking to your children, there is oneness. What they see is that mommy and daddy are joined up and they've agreed on the way they want to raise us, rather than mommy saying no and daddy saying yes. And then, the kids are getting conflicting messages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like to stop there for now.
All right. Thank you. It has to be intentional. It has to be deliberate, because it's like, look at it. It's like you're trying to build a house. Even with AI technology, whatever, it will still have to start from somewhere and build all the way up. It might be so fast or whatever. So look at it like you're building a house. It will take time. Before you lay the foundation, it has to dry. Make sure it's solid enough to start building. And so, fine. I've seen people say they build houses in 3 months or whatever. That is still time. So it takes time. These things are not, imagine you've been living your life, TJ, before my sis came into the picture. You knew what you were doing. You have your ways of doing things. And now she's come into the picture. She's like, this is how I'm used to. So that's 2 already. But coming together, it has to be intentional. Okay, you do this way, I do this way. Let's come together. How can we do it to move forward together? Sometimes you will not see eye to eye. In fact, it always amazes me when I hear couples say for 10 years, they never had arguments. Or for 10 years, there's no conflict. I just feel these people are lying, because I don't believe that. Whether small, whether big, whether it's just one day, there has to be. Because
In reality, people have conflicts. What they mean when they say that is, they figured out a way to either avoid it or to deal with it. But there's no how you will live with somebody in the same house, and you'll be married to someone and you will not have conflicts.
For 10 years, bros, I don't understand.
It's not possible. You will have conflicts. You will just decide. Again, another thing about oneness is having a conflict resolution process.
Strategy.
Right? Which is documented, so that when somebody is mad and blowing hot, this is what I will do. I will walk out. So people that do that and have that in place can say, we don't really have conflict, but you do have conflicts. You just manage your conflicts.
If you say that, I believe that. But don't come and tell me for 10 years, no argument, no, Haba, please.
They become spirits. No, they become spirits. They are the Holy Spirit.
My bros, people can lie. Sir. Sorry for interrupting you. As of today, I heard someone said for 24 years, no conflicts. I say, well done, man.
Please,
I hear you. I did not hug you.
Please. my TJ knows we've been married now. Me and my husband, we're married 25 and a half years. I was saying some weeks back, I said, if I start writing the conflict, there won't be enough paper in the world but I'm still here, and we're still here. He's somewhere in the house. We're still here. So when people say that, they're not helping their children, they're not helping people around them, they're not real. You and I know this. Even a 1-month-old marriage would have faced something, and then you come and tell me for 24 years, Haba, are you living in Pluto? And you're living in Mars. So people are not real sometimes, and they don't know that these things goes along with. You have heard it now. Look at the platform you're sharing it on. It could be that children have heard it. And again, another thing that I don't know whether we're digressing, but at least we're learning from one another. They say, oh, we don't argue where our children is. For so long, I thought that thing never settles or sits with me. Then I was in a hangout as well, and we were talking about it. I said, look, this is my take on these things. Because these children, whether male or female child, they're going to see the way you handle conflict.
Yeah.
They're going to see when you make up, you balanced that life setup for them.
That's right.
So
That's right.
imagine they only see when you're all dovey. And now they grow up and they're having issues with their spouse. They will not be telling their spouse, my mother never fought with my dad. But not knowing that you hid it so well from them. And they don't know how to handle it. Me and my husband, sometimes they will hear us when I sing my soprano and all of that. And then the next time they see us lovey-dovey and they'll be like, you guys go to your room or something. Balance things for them. Make it real. Balance it, because you're not equipping them right. When you shut and ask, you don't want them to see it. No, they will face it. They will face it bigger than you faced it. And then they don't have the equipment for it. Or they don't have strategy, like Danny Babe said. They don't have strategies to cope with these things. And then we think we're doing them justice.
But the other aspect of that is that when people think that the children don't actually know, they're deceiving themselves. Of course they know, unless they're not living in the house. They can decide. Of course, the kids can act like we haven't seen anything, because but there's no way you're going to be living in a house and having conflicts, no matter how small it is. The children can sense the negative energy between both of you, right? They may never address it, but you think you're hiding it. What are you hiding? They just decide not to talk about it.
No. Let's be real here, people. Because people are living lives, and then that's why they're grown now. They're married, and some things, it sounds so easy, but they don't have what it takes to handle it. Just because, all of those things whilst growing up. And that's why I'm so passionate about couples living together, because this is the time for you to make your world. Make your world, and the devil is never happy. You and I know that. It will bring something. If you've conquered financial oneness, it will come and wait for you emotional.
Yes.
If you conquer emotional, it will come and wait for you spiritual. And it's like never ending. So why won't you and your spouse be intentional together? This thing, whatever door is coming through, together we're going to punch it. Rather, some people, they punch each other. And that's why we're hearing of divorce, separation today. And it shouldn't be. God, everything God created is good. When we don't see that goodness, oneness in marriage, is because we are not doing what we want to do. And that's why we're not seeing the result. It seems hard, yet it could be simple. Don't do to me what you don't want me to do to you. Basic rules. There's some basic rules that we don't even obey. We don't even see as priority. Why would I want to hurt my spouse intentionally? That's where mistakes would come in. That's where we talk about forgiveness. You have to be an epitome of forgiveness, because you will offend each other. Don't come and tell me, since I married you, you haven't offended me. You people are fooling each other. I'm sorry to say.
The very interesting thing about it is, even though you're going on a journey as a couple, I was saying to a friend of mine last week, I was saying that we're time travelers, and she was like, what do I mean by that? I'm like, often the times when you think about time travelers, you're thinking about maybe people who go to the past or who go to the future. But look, we're traveling through time as we're growing. We were 5 years old, we're born one day, now kids, marriage. So we're traveling through time. I said, look, even though you're traveling through time and you're maturing as a couple, there's also that individual aspect of it, which is you also need to grow as an individual within the context of the marriage, because your growth will determine the quality of the within the context of the marriage, because your growth will determine the quality of the life that you feel like, okay, you're weak. So there's that intentionality as well, because you improve your marriage by improving yourself.
Yes, very true.
So there's that aspect of it there, that often at times one is, oh, you've offended me all the time. Okay, when do you get to a point where you don't easily get offended?
I wonder.
So it's also about that growth, that personal development, that personal growth that you also need to go through. Whilst you're getting to know your partner, you're also growing. You're seeing new demons that are showing up in him that you need to tackle, and that's your challenge, really. If you say, God, I want to grow, I want to know you more, then you have challenges that will, stretch you to grow.
Don't ask for what you can't handle.
So it's important to also always remember that in the relationships we're in, that there's an element of personal growth through the tenure of our lives that we need to do, rather than thinking, okay, now I'm in it, now I'm married now, so I don't need to do anything, things just need to happen, or my husband or my wife is a problem. They're always the problem. I'm doing the best, I'm the best here, that other person is a problem. No, you need to grow. You need to grow up.
Yeah, the truth is bitter, as they say, but is the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, marriage. If you're not ready, please don't go into it. Don't go into it and think your spouse will solve the problem in this world. Hey, it takes two. It takes two. And even if it's one-sided, you and I know that we're not going to be enjoying that marriage. It has to be together. If you like, say 50-50. If you like, it's beside, not behind one person. We're beside each other, living that journey together. And it's very crucial. This intentionality that keeps coming up is becoming a theme. We have to be intentional, because if I'm not intentional about forgiving today's trouble, there's tomorrow's trouble still coming. And I'm still harboring unforgiveness of today, and tomorrow meets it, it gets bigger. Before you know, it's like you're living with a stranger. And then bitterness will come, resentment will come, and all of that. Not knowing that it's us that is causing all of that unforgiveness, not our spouses. So there's a lot, like, I really appreciate you putting that out there. We need to work on ourselves. Look at you as you are there. Points to me right now. You see these 3 fingers pointing right back at me. Sometimes we don't want to face the truth. We need to work on ourselves. Sometimes we try to change our partners, or we try to change, and then the harder we try, the harder it's like they're just unchangeable. You're not there to change them. You can pray for them. If you notice anything, that's why for us as Christians, we have that opportunity. I just go, just like I think the unstoppable mindset was saying, go and pray. Sometimes I'll shout. When I feel like I'm talking to people, I just go and pray. Like, God, I don't know what language. Let me go and speak the heavens language, and then we'll sort things out. It's difficult, when you're growing with that person, because you're growing, you don't know the totality of them. They will bring some behaviors you've never seen before. They will bring some values you've probably never seen before. Some good, some bad, some ugly. And you'll be like, hey, this is not the man I married. Oh, yeah, they are, but they're growing. They might not grow the way you're thinking or the way you prefer, but they're still growing. And they're also trying to sort out themselves, their lives and things like that. And that's where tolerance comes in. That's where patience comes in. That's where this sacrificial love comes in. This is where understanding comes in. I mean, if you were to do rule and divide, or what would they say, pros and cons, I don't know how long each of us have been in our relationships, or, you write there. There are 1,000,001 things you can write that will say, okay, everybody should have gone their way. Long time. But we say, come rain, come shine, we're in this together. Because the truth is, even if you break up, okay, you go and meet somebody else, what do you know that they're going to bring on boord? You will not say, hey, had I known, I've just stayed there and worked things out. There is no perfect person. Therefore, you can't get a perfect marriage. But you work hard at it, be intentional at it. I work hard, I'm intentional about we will enjoy it together. And that's the essence of this kind of talk. Because some people, they're so in their mind, this is, it has to be my way or the highway. That will not bring oneness in that
No.
relationship. Compromise. Oh my goodness. When the Holy Spirit taught me how to compromise, I I was boiling. I said, no, this is unfair. This is cheating. But look at now. In fact, some things now, I feel I should rake, I'll be quiet. I say, for me, I've really learned to, you learn to hold your peace. I'm telling you, as you grow together, we learn together, we fall, we rise. There's so many, we can go on and on and on. But the bottom line is, in as much as still trying to promote that oneness, don't lose yourself.
Mm.
You know, your values, your principles are still there. You have individual passion, purpose, and all of that from God, as well as collective, husband and wife purpose, passion, and all of that. There's that thin line because, that alone, if there's no understanding, can break up that relationship as well. Those are deep talks we're going into.
Can I share
But
something with you?
Please, go ahead.
So this is quite personal.
Okay.
I had this dream a while back, might be a slight deviation. I just felt my heart to
That's
share.
okay.
And I had this dream where I saw myself in heaven, and then I was excited to be there. I was like, oh my God, I made it, that kind of stuff. And I saw my wife all of a sudden. She was having a chat with a few people. So I was like, oh my God, we made it. So I ran up to her. I was holding my hands out, trying to hug her. And all of a sudden, she just pointed, a hand out to me and shook my hand and said, hello, brother Tunji. How are you doing? So I thought, are you okay? Are you all right? Give me a hug. What's wrong with you? And but she was very, very civil with me, like, oh, you made it. Thank God, thank God. And as I was talking to her, whilst I was having that dream, I was getting a bit emotional. I was thinking, what's going on here? I mean, I was feeling like she was like, oh, look, it's great to see you. It's time to go and worship the Father. I'm going and see you later. And I remember sitting down there thinking, oh my God, Jesus has stolen my wife, or something like that. Along those lines. That when you spend so much time with somebody that you feel like you have exclusive rights to them, and not as if God created them for a purpose, right? And I woke up, and when I woke up, I felt God saying to me, this old thing that you call marriage here, that's why you take the vow till death do you part. Once you die, it does not exist anymore.
That's
So
it. There's no
so what am I
margin.
trying to bring out of this? What I'm trying to bring out of it is God ordained marriage for a purpose.
Yeah.
Again, it's about understanding the purpose for which both of you have come together whilst you do life here. It's very, very important that everyone's on the same page about, we know that when one of us goes or we both go, it ends there. So we're alive for a purpose. And whatever we're co-creating, whatever we're investing our life into, which is our time, we need to understand it. And so rather than bickering, if people are quite clear on why and the purpose of their marriage, and they're united on the reason why they've been married, I think somehow it also creates for a better bond, and it creates for a bit more focus. And look, with this is there's purpose here, rather than just, okay, I got married to someone because I just like them. No, it's not about liking purely. That's important, but okay, what do we do with the life that we've brought together now, and what's the purpose of it? That's what I just wanted to share.
Oh, thank you so much. That was really profound. Thank you so much for sharing that. There is no marriage in heaven, and the truth is, whether people believe that Bible, Christ, and all of that or not, at least that is one book that a lot of things in there, we see in the reality. I don't need a scientist to come and prove certain things. That is my belief, and I want to believe we share that as well. It's really profound, because at the end of the day, we want to make heaven. And God is testing you here on earth. Do you really want to make heaven? Okay, you've chosen this person to do life with. Let us see. All the commandments will be tried and tested in that relationship. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not do this, will be tested, and God's commandment in your life, in that marriage. Sometimes, I don't know, was it my husband that was teasing me because I told him story long time ago. One of the days I found this boldness to face my father, I went to him and said, Dad, I don't know what's going on in this world. I want to go to the Coventry. I want to become a sister or nun or something. The man looked at me and said, Are you okay? I think I was a teenager. I don't know what was going on at the time. And then he said, bring your hand. All those are our fathers. And he looked at my left palm and said, I can see you. You have like loads of children. Come on, get out of here. And I was crying. I was passionate. I wanted to go because I think I was a Christian because I was a Christian. I became born again when I was a teenager. And the passion that I have for God and all of that, when I watch those sisters, those movies, especially the Igbo land, all those non-sisters with their rosary, and I got so inspired that I want to do this, to the point that I faced my father and he just shunned me. I said, well, maybe he won't let me, and then I'll be too old to, What am I saying? In as much as you're in that marriage relationship, you will be tried, tested in it with your spouse, with your children. Excuse me. That would be your world. Business and all of that, it's I don't want to say secondary, it's even far from it. How you treat, you say, love your neighbor as you love. You're not loving the spouse in your house. How much more your neighbor? So those things will be tried, tested in you. Your purpose, your passion in that marriage, he will give it to you. Whether you now even support each other to achieving it, or you be like, no, you can't achieve me, I have to achieve. There's a whole lot we can, go on and talk about. But the bottom line is, I will say this, the bottom line is, as long as you've decided you chose this person to do life with, the good, the bad, the ugly, be ready for it. Be ready for it. Try to be the bigger person. If you say that to yourself and your spouse say that to themselves as well, when there are issues, you want to be the bigger person, they want to be the bigger person, the conflict will be resolved. And then you move on to facing another one even. I cannot overemphasize, there is no I, me, myself, and I anymore. The moment you say I do, that was the last time you used the word I. It's now we together. And I pray that people get the understanding. Life would happen. Things will come your way. But be ready to do all of those things with the person you have chosen. And I pray for the grace that God will give you understanding with your spouse, to give you the same language, to help you build this oneness spiritually, emotionally, in every area of life. That is my prayer for all of us. I'm praying the same for myself, because sometimes I feel like, I've just had it, I don't want to expand it some more because of time. We have to go now. So thank you so much. In fact, I think one of the days I've enjoyed Inside is today, starting off with you, that tribe. Thank you so much for bringing that, questions and all of that, trying to understand, this marriage we're talking about, this relationship. And I want to believe some people out there listening as well, because it's not easy. This 21st century comes with 21st century palaver. Issues of finding the bone of your bone, flesh of your flesh. But I still pray that God will bring that person your way in his time. He will make your life beautiful in that regard. The Unstoppable Mindset, thank you so much for your contribution. God bless you. My Johnny babes, hey, you're the one, you're the bomb. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And TJ Dairo, what can I say? My own person, gang. Thank you so much for always bringing insightful, perspective to our talks. I really appreciate everyone. Nobody got a puzzle today. I'm going to take it away and bring it back next week. So let's go and do due diligence. Unstoppable, if you want to go and check sermon notes. TJ,
No wahala.
TJ, my puzzle for today is, why do we have to be quiet in church? Why do we have to be quiet in church? So my unstoppable, if I had to stop her, when she was going into the sermon, it's just a sentence. That is the answer to the puzzle. So when you come next week, please bring the answer, because I don't want to take my donuts and ice cream away. I want to share it. Thank you guys so much. I really love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll come your way on Monday, where we'll be talking about general talks, finding strategies to coping with life, because this life has enough trouble. We need to enjoy it before heavens come now, please. So I'll be here again on Inside with FunmiRoyal with another interesting topic, which will be a blessing to you, I trust. And till then, be blessed. Don't do what I wouldn't do now. Just kidding. And enjoy the weekend. Yay, the last weekend in September. Guys, have a lovely night rest. And I'll see you on Monday, 8 p.m. UK time here on Inside with FunmiRoyal. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Yuda, thank you. Unstoppable Mindset, God bless you. TJ, much love. Johnny Babes, you're the bomb. Let us know that we Good night, everyone.